It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at ArizonaSports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Well, the Phoenix Suns signed a player over the weekend. The All-Star game for the NBA was a lot of fun. And U of A drops in the college basketball rankings. ASU will host Texas Tech Red Raiders tonight. And the D-backs have a familiar face back on their roster. Plus, Winter Olympics have been sensational. Welcome in, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. We are hanging out today, ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, always on the Arizona Sports app and at ArizonaSports.com. We are presented by Lerner and Rowe. Just make one call. That's all, 602-977-1900. Manuch, how are you, pal?
I'm doing good, Jimmy B. All is good. The proverbial.
I don't hear you, Manuch. So we got
myself.
Oh, there you go. Hi.
Are we good?
Amazing.
Laz, are we good? That a boy. Okay, I think we're good to go because you can't have Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B without Manuch.
Oh, boy.
Sounding off.
To be perfectly honest with you, I was looking forward to it.
No, it is all good. It was a good weekend, a good weekend of college basketball.
Yeah.
I think we saw a very competitive NBA All-Star game.
We did. It was fun.
Where's that three-point shooting by Devin Booker been this last season? Oh, I see. Save it up for the All-Star game. And then I got to tell you what, whether you're a live golf fan or not, Anthony Kim,
great story.
What a great comeback story that you can overcome addiction, even though you do fight it every day.
Yep.
Good for Anthony Kim. And then how about the D-backs? They got their guy back, as you mentioned there, Jimmy B. $22.5 million. What took you so long, Zach Gallen?
Because he got no offers from anybody else.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
There was really nothing there out there. Now, I'm sure, because that was the qualifying offer by the Diamondbacks.
Correct.
$22.5 million.
Yeah.
So for a lot of folks out there that say, hey, did he negotiate? No, Boris didn't negotiate. That was the offer, the qualifying offer, $22.5 million. I don't know, maybe they threw in a Mars bar and an apple on top of everything. Maybe they cleaned his locker. Well, it was cleaned out for a while. It was
cleaned out, yeah.
So he's coming back, which is good. But it was a very, very good weekend and very competitive college basketball as we saw last night.
Man.
How about Iowa State getting it done? It's a lot of fun over the weekend.
It really was. That Iowa State-Houston game last night that you mentioned, a tremendous game. And how about the three-pointer by Hesse for Iowa State? He drains it, and a few hours earlier, his sister, who plays on the USA women's hockey team, scored a goal as well. What a family.
You've got to love that, the competition from within. But, I think one of the things we're seeing now in college hoops is you look at the top 15, top 10, top 15. By the way, once again, 4 teams in the Big 12 are in the top 10.
Right.
But it's good to see the competitive nature. I think we're really starting to see NCAA basketball tournament play with these games. I think the other thing that's vitally important is who stays healthy during these games and who doesn't. But it was a lot of fun. That Texas Tech U of A game could have went either way.
Mm-hmm.
This big, tall kid that came back at $4.5 million. Topping the big lefty. So how do you describe that little running quasi-hook push shot from 4 feet in? It's not a hook. It's not a jump shot, just kind of
kind of in between.
Yeah, it is.
And this is a kid.
He's deadly accurate with that.
He is very accurate. He's going to be a first-round draft choice. The dude can really play, and Texas Tech has some players on that team aside from him. However, in that game, Toppin decided, look, they can't stop me down low.
Just give me the damn ball.
Give me the damn ball. Yep. And he told the coach that. And the coach said, cool. All right. And he went to work, and he has, 31 and 12.
31.
Yeah. And so, look, it's you're getting a taste. For those of you who really aren't attuned yet with Big 12 college basketball, I'm telling you right now, you watch the atmosphere, the game at Kansas, And then the game at Iowa State. Iowa State beat Kansas on Saturday, then beat Houston last night. Manuch, the kids were camped out in freezing temperatures, snow everywhere for 2 days.
That's
2 days to get in.
You know what? When my days at K-State, they would the same way. Those kids would be camped out 2 or 3 days before a KU game, or Missouri, who was in the Big Eight in those days.
At that time,
But those kind of big games were camp out, get your ticket, first come, first serve.
Yeah.
For the students, that is a lot of fun. And, just watching this U of A game going back and forth. And to your point, right, Toppin just kind of took over the game. But a couple of key offensive rebounds, kickouts in the last, 20 seconds?
Yeah.
By the Texas Tech Red Raiders was truly amazing, kind of the death nail. But I thought that with Koa Pete not coming out in the second half, lower body injury, whatever that is. And then on top of that, I really thought that, you look at the depth of this U of A team, and I really thought Awaka really stepped up. And here's a guy that if he's got to start for another couple of games, if Pete's out, he can get the job done. But there was just a little bit more energy and want to, and just a couple more three-pointers hit by Tech. Otherwise, you play the best out of three, that game probably goes down to a rubber match, or those teams probably go down to a rubber match.
Absolutely. They are very evenly matched. And I can't wait for Iowa State to come in and play at the McHale Center. Hey, what do they, Laz, help me out here, will you? What do they call it now? Is it still the McHale Center, and then they've got a naming rights?
Yeah, they're going to name it right, the Amica something.
Yeah, the Alkeem. So it's still the McHale Center at Alkeem Arena on Lou Olson Court. So it's a whole tongue twister now.
Hold on. One more time, Laz.
Yeah. Can you say that 10 times fast?
Yeah.
So we got the McHale Center at Alkeem Court, or at Alkeem Arena on Lute Olson Court.
Okay.
Remember all that.
Just heads up when we come to you on that one, as far as that's concerned. But it's fun watching these games. And then tonight, oh my goodness, ASU taking on Texas Tech, national TV.
Right.
Tip off at 9:00.
Right in my wheelhouse.
I hope everybody back east is in bed, so they don't have to watch this. Anybody east of the Mississippi is in bed to watch this slaughtering of the Wolves. Now, hey, don't get me wrong, Sun Devil fans. I grew up a Sun Devil, so just relax. I just hope that they can hang for a little bit with only 8 guys playing. And you look at this Texas Tech team, and they run, 9-10 guys off the bench. They
can, yes.
They can. So, again, this is just going to be, okay, let's see where the Devils are at. We know where they're at. They got a snowball's chance in hell to win this basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
We'll catch up with Kyle Dodd here at 2:30. He's the radio analyst for the Sun Devils. We'll get his thoughts on how do you defense this Texas Tech team? Does somebody just go put a padlock on their locker room so they can't
Don't
get
let them
out of the locker room? So
don't let them get off the bus.
I think this will be a lot of style points by the Texas Tech Red Raiders against the Sun Devils. What I mean by that, a lot of alley-oops, a lot of dunks, a lot of slams, and they can flat shoot the basketball on top of everything.
I want to see Jop, though, matched up against Toppin.
That'll be fun.
That'll be fun. Jop is a raw talent, and the guy does have excellent talent, and he's gotten better. They don't give him the ball enough, but he has gotten better as the season has gone on. I just want to see that matchup. I like those individual sort of matchups within the game. Manuch also, Grand Canyon on the road at San Diego State tonight. So from that standpoint,
big boy ball,
big Mountain West matchup, and I'm looking forward to watching that game as well.
Yeah, they get a nice blowout win over San Jose State, as you mentioned, on Saturday tonight. It's a big game, and we'll catch up with Paul Coro for our GC Lopes report and get his thoughts about them going into at SDSU and taking on this team. Because if there's one thing I got to believe the Lopes are getting used to or have to understand, going on the road versus these top-tier teams in the nation, is being able to compete with and beat them on the road. And we've talked about that. Hey, look, the Mountain West, it's go time in the Mountain West.
It is.
No more whack give-me wins.
Yes.
You go into San Diego State, and you want to try to, what do they got, maybe 10 more games, I believe, left in college basketball before March Madness is, Jimmy, less than a month away.
I know.
Just a heads up there.
Okay.
Less than a month away. So, again, it's going to be another litmus test. I think litmus tests are over For all these teams, it's just a matter of
not playtime.
Yep. Going into on the road or at home, and winning the games you have to win, especially getting stung by the Lobos on your home court last week. So I think hopefully they can rebound and I guess the pace and tempo they talk about that San Diego State has is keeping up with that for a full 40 minutes.
There you go.
That's the challenge for the Lopes of Grand Canyon.
I'll be flipping back and forth between the two games later tonight. The NBA All-Star Game was 1,000 times better than what it has been. I mean, it wasn't even close. It was fun. Guys even dove on the floor for a couple of loose balls.
Whoa.
What?
Say that again.
Yeah, guys dove on the floor. I saw it happen. I'm going, what the hell?
Yeah, that was I told Roc about this on Friday. There's more pride involved, old guys versus the new guys.
Yes.
You got the international versus the U.S. You've got guys that are competitive. They want to win. And on top of that, I don't even know what the value of the win was. I think a lot of that's irrelevant because these guys are gazillionaires, is that it's about the pride.
Yep.
It's about wanting to win. And we're not going to let no damn old guys beat us. That's one of the mantras. But, I mean.
Yeah, I get you.
But you watched this. It was dialed in.
Yeah.
It wasn't just first one to 200 wins a game.
That's correct.
But it was more fun. I really enjoyed the three-point shooting. Did not watch one clip of the slam dunk. I couldn't even tell you who won, what the slam dunk was.
It was awful.
Yeah.
I just watched some of the highlights of it. So McManaman, who for 3 years in a row was highly entertaining, winning the slam dunk, he put out a video online with him doing 4 different dunks, and they were sensational. So sensational.
So since he's got his 10-day contract with, I believe, the 76ers,
yeah,
he didn't want to come do the slam dunk because he wants to stay focused.
He does.
And he's getting a little more playing time than he has in years past. So he didn't want to. It's like, you know what? I've been there and done that. I saw the special on him.
3 times.
What a great special on him growing up to the slam dunk to where he's at now. So it's very good. But he just said, you know what? I've got 3. A record would have been 4 in a row. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
But he tied for the 3. But he decided just to kind of sit home, rest up, and watch this one.
It would have been no contest with the 4 dunks that he posted. They were just.
White boy can jump.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Got some hops.
If you haven't seen it, just check out McManaman and his 4 dunks. One, he dunks with his arm backwards over his head. He's under the back. I can't describe it. You have to see it to believe it. So, our State 48 Roofing, it's your call. Question of the day. And by the way, for a free roof inspection, going to rain again. Before the leaks hit your roof, you want to get in touch with State 48 Roofing. Keep your roof sexy with Arizona's #1 referred roofer, State 48 Roofing. Just go to state48roofing.com or you can call them at 480-268-4509. Here's the question. Do you feel the NBA All-Star Game was an improvement with its new format? Manuch really outdid himself. 3 options. 1, yes, more competitive. 2, no difference. 3, didn't care to watch. Well, almost 9 million people did care to watch. It was the highest rated NBA All-Star Game in like 15 years. Anyway, just go to Roc and Manuch on X and cast your vote. Okay, when we come back, it's our replay rewind. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2 on the Arizona Sports app.
When it comes to sushi, reputation matters. And Sushi Brokers Arcadia has built theirs on being the best sushi in Arizona. From traditional rolls to bold fusion creations, like our crowd favorite, Seafood Dynamite, and the must-try sushi pizza. We've got something for everyone. Our famous happy hour is every day from 3 to 6:30 with fresh favorites like the California roll, spicy tuna roll, and the surf and turf roll topped with seared steak. Sushi Brokers Arcadia, 44th Street in Indian School.
This is Jason Schechterly, former Phoenix police officer. There's nothing more important to a first responder than focusing on their mental health. And there's nothing better for that mental health than golf, friends, music, drinks, food, and fun. Join us for the Heroes Golf Classic Tournament at the Weston Kierland Golf Course on Friday, May 8th. If you're not a golfer, show up for the after party and benefit concert with the best cover band in Arizona, Rock Lobster. Proceeds are going to benefit the 100 Club of Arizona. The 100 Club provides support for our first responders through critical incidents, injury prevention, mental health, and scholarships. Every day, our public safety members put their lives on the line, and we are their backup. So come out and join us on May 8th. To register, go to our website, 100club.org, and click on the events page. Again, 100club.org. Click on the events page, register for the tournament, and we will see you on May 8th.
Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the Grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
Call 977-1900.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
You my little boo thing, so I'll give a hoot what you do say, girl. I know you a little too tame. I'll be shooting that shot like 2K, girl. I know.
Now it's time for our replay rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Rock decides to add. Let's get to it in Replay Rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD-2.
Manuch, you know this song? This is probably in your wheelhouse, right?
Yeah, I remember that song a little while back. I know the beat pretty well.
I know the beat.
It's been a while. I've heard that bad boy. That's from Rock's list. That's got a good thump to it, as I like to say. Bust a move to that. Little pop lock, little Cabbage Patch, ride the pony.
Oh, man, I want to see you ride the pony.
I got that bad boy
People
down.
have no idea what the hell we're talking about. Unbelievable. Hey, not last night, but Saturday, Texas Tech walked into let me see if I can remember this, the McHale Center, Alki Court.
Lute Olson Court.
Lute Olson Court and the Akeem Olajuwon.
Something like that.
Something like that. Okay.
They finally, are they running out of money down in U of A?
Not
They finally got a naming right for the McHale Center.
One. They're only about 20 years late.
The McHale family run out of money, so you got to go after somebody else. But they still incorporate the McHale Center. Those are some of those arenas when you go McHale Center.
Yeah.
That's in Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah.
Fog Allen Arena.
Yeah.
That's at Lawrence Fieldhouse.
Yeah.
You just those distinct
Hilton Coliseum.
Where's the Hilton Coliseum?
Iowa State.
Nobody knows what the Hilton Coliseum
They
is.
did after that game that you just watched.
But I'm just saying, on a national basis, people know exactly where you're going to go.
I didn't say where it was. I just said the name.
If you said the Garden, are you thinking of the Knicks or the Boston?
Now that's good.
See?
Because for me, being in both of them many, many, many times, I would have to look at you and say what you just said, New York or Boston. Where we park the car.
I think the way they clarified, the Boston Garden or Madison Square
They just
Garden.
go MSG. Yeah.
That's kind of, but that's one of those, when you say the Garden, it's like, I don't know, Boston, New York. So there's a couple out there, Jimmy B, that you could throw out there and people would recognize. The Hilltop Center of North Dakota in Iowa, nobody would understand.
How about the Fargo Dome?
That's got to be up North Dakota.
It's North Dakota State. That's where they play. The
nobody
Fargo
would
Dome.
know that was.
I'm just throwing stuff out where I've been.
You are, like as usual.
That's it. Let us get then to the loss by Arizona to Texas Tech. After the game, head coach Tommy Lloyd.
They came in here, they got it done. They obviously had a great game plan, and made timely shots and timely defensive stops, and that allowed them to get over the top on us. Felt like we had opportunities. Considering all the things that we're kind of going through, but yeah, you just got to get it done. And I love these guys, and we just need a good day off tomorrow and kind of focus on winning the next one.
Manuch, that game was really physical.
It was very physical.
Yeah.
And I think you look at as far as rebounding is concerned, if there's one thing I would look at U of A is that they can match the physicality. I don't think that's a problem. But there were some key rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
There were some key kickouts by Texas Tech in that overtime. But I think as far as a couple guys, the big fella for Texas Tech, he had his way. There's really no answer that U of A had for him. I was surprised about that.
Mm-hmm.
I really was. But it was a great game.
How much? Hey, Laz, do me a favor. See if you can check if they've issued a statement on Koa Pete, if they've updated his injury other than a lower body injury. When Koa Pete left, I did not see the game change that much.
I would agree.
I thought both teams were still playing very hard and very physical, despite the fact that he was off the floor.
Well, I think Awaka stepped up.
He
really did. He played 37 minutes, had 16 points, and he had 12 rebounds. He looked every bit of.
He looked Koa Pete.
He looked. Yeah, he did. But Koa Pete's been struggling the last couple of games.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't come out in the second half, and you go, "Wow, is it an ankle? Is it a thigh? Is it a bruise?" Laz, what do you got back there, bud?
So Tommy Lloyd and the athletic staff said it's a lower leg deal, but it was nothing that happened in that Texas Tech game. He's been ailing with this injury for a couple of games, and they just didn't say anything before. And that is why everyone in the Arizona fan base has led to saying he's been playing very timid and very not like himself the last few games.
Manuch just said that.
And I think that's why they decided to hold him out in the second half. It must have been bothering him a little bit more, and I think they're going to try to be careful with him leading into March.
So that explains it. The KU game, this game, the kid's trying. He's doing his best, but something's amiss. So something's amiss. But Awaka, in the meantime, boy, he really stepped up. He hit some key buckets and got some key rebounds, and his physical presence is huge. But that's got to be overall. Those other two big guys got a few more milkshakes, a few more burgers,
some pasta,
lower center of gravity, because you could see in the KU game, in this game, where the opposing team not so much dominated the boards, Jimmy. It was key rebounds at key times that were made by the opponent.
That's more than fair. Here's Tommy Lloyd then, what we were just discussing, the physicality.
In Texas Tech, they do a great job of that. They're a really physical team. They teach you well, and that's fine. I think it always, the first time you play them, it's kind of eye-opening for your guys. And in the second half, I thought we did a better job dealing with it. But we like I said, we just didn't close it out those last few minutes of the game.
So just what we were discussing, and then Laz with the update. There was no mention, though, if he's going to play Laz in this next game at all.
I would bet a large chunk of money that he won't be playing against BYU tomorrow.
Okay, fair enough.
How about that gauntlet?
Yeah.
You've got KU, Texas Tech, BYU,
Houston.
Iowa State's lurking around the corner. Then there's KU.
Yeah.
But if anything would test to resolve, this is it. And I think Tommy Lloyd, you got to like this. I like it. You got a day off, go ahead and get healthy, get soak in the ice baths, do what you've got to do to get yourself ready. But this is what the Big 12 is all about.
Damn right.
This is why you got to love this. And 4 teams in the Big 12 are in the top 10. And, if you can come out of the Big 12, you can escape the Big 12. You got a pretty damn good chance of running the table.
I'm with you. There's several teams in the Big 12 that can make a deep run, which would include the Final Four. Let us skip down to Awaka and his comments. Now having a day off and now trying to get ready for the next game.
I think it's just a matter of perspective. I think I've kind of said this before, but March is still March. You know what I mean? So if we do what we do, if we do what we're supposed to do, during that stretch, all this is forgotten. That's not to say that this doesn't sting and home losses don't sting. We know what the fans mean to us, and just the way that they're able to pack out the stadium today and show their support and how they've been showing support throughout the whole season. It's tough. I'm not really worried about my own feelings, but theirs. The effort, the energy that they put into supporting us and making sure that we feel army behind us. So, these are the fans. That stings where my heart goes out. But in terms of, the young guys, again, just keeping that perspective. Just knowing that, okay, we've lost 2 games. It's on to the next. It's just, just trying not to let it snowball. And obviously, we have some adversity with guys that, 100%. But, that's what, this, college basketball, the season is like. It's a long season, and, you're never too high for too long before, you get kind of punched in the mouth. And the reality check, you have to galvanize and build back up again. So, I think it's something that we were expecting, that we were, that we knew that was going to happen, and that we just have to, power through it.
I think very well said. Hey, young guys, welcome to the Big 12.
You got it.
Welcome to the onslaught. If you're gonna be the best, you're gonna play the best, and you're going to get the best out of all these teams. I mean, you look at all of a sudden you're going, we got to shake off that loss, those 2 losses in a row, and then you got to come back against BYU on Wednesday, and then you're at Houston. Good luck at Baylor. But again, then the last 2 out of 3 are home. You got KU, Iowa State home, which will help.
Yep.
And then the last one, Colorado's not going to be any kind of a pushover. But I think what he's saying is, hey, look, this is big boy basketball. Keep the young guys encouraged and say this is what you have to get ready for on a night in, night out basis when you look at these last 6 games of the year.
Hey, today's Replay Rewind presented by our great partnership with Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck, need a check, just make one call. 602-977-1900, always at lernerandrowe.com. And remember, you get a free consultation. Just one call, that's all. Lerner and Rowe, 602-977-1900. Zach Gallen, he'll be back on the mound in a D-backs jersey. He signs a 1-year contract with the Arizona Diamondbacks. When we come back, Diamondbacks pre- and post-game show host Jody Jackson will be our guest. Right now, let's get you to an ESPN 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. Arizona Diamondbacks catcher and designated hitter Adrian Del Castillo is dealing with a left calf strain and is expected to miss most of spring training. The team says they will reassess his status as opening day approaches. In better news for Arizona, Zach Gallen has officially re-signed with the Diamondbacks, signing a 1-year deal with deferred money, keeping the ace in Arizona for another season. And on the hardwood, Arizona State is home again tonight, hosting the Texas Tech Red Raiders at Desert Financial Arena, with tip-off at 9 p.m. on 98.7 FM and streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. This ESPN 620 update is sponsored by Biggs American Bar and Grill. When it's game day in the West Valley, there's only one place to be, Biggs. Wall-to-wall TVs, cold drinks, and the best atmosphere around. Visit BiggsPeoria.com for more. D-backs pre- and post-game host Jody Jackson joins the guys next.
Have you ever been to Rodizio Grill? Let me tempt you. Start your Rodizio experience with our hot, unlimited appetizers. Indulge on our award-winning gourmet salad bar with over 35 items. Then, 16 delicious, sizzling, rotisserie grilled meats and grilled items like our tender top sirloin and Rodizio's signature glazed pineapple, as much as you'd like.
Rodizio Grill, the Brazilian steakhouse.
Located in Mesa, North Scottsdale.
Swing into Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf to get custom fit for the new Callaway Quantum drivers. The new Callaway Quantum drivers feature Tri-Force face, and the result is a faster face, more ball speed, and a quantum leap in distance off the tee. Check out the Callaway Quantum drivers today. Book your custom fitting in-store or online. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Hey, every Tuesday at 2 o'clock, make sure you're locked in for the Lopes Report, powered by Global Credit Union, on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B right here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. Each week, the guys are talking GCU athletics, the playmakers, the coaches, and the people building one of the fastest rising programs in the country. And if you miss it live, we've got you covered. Every Lopes Report is posted on the Arizona Sports app and the guys' social platforms. The Lopes Report, Tuesdays at 2, powered by Global Credit Union. Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Hey, it's Flo here to say drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds.
Nice. With my new savings, I'll get some hiking gear. It'll be great for my outdoor era.
I don't know if it counts as an era if you just buy stuff.
I got a cute hiking backpack. It's an outdoor era.
Well, you only bought one thing. I don't think it's an era.
Well, I think we're in a agree to disagree era.
Yeah, sure, you're probably right. Anyway, with the money you could save by switching to Progressive, you can afford to switch to other things in life. It's
my savings era.
Also, everything you do is not an era.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Let's get back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B now on ESPN 620.
Well, I think the answer is, I believe anyone who looks at our club would say with him on the team, we're more competitive than we would have been without him on the team. Would we be a competitive team without him? Yes, I think so. Would we be more with him? I think we are.
That is Ken Kendrick, and his thoughts on the one-year deal. Zach Gallen, he accepted the qualifying offer. Welcome back, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. It's always fun when we get a chance to hang out with Jody Jackson. She, of course, you can see her on the pre- and post-game show for Major League Baseball and the Arizona Diamondbacks. And you can find her on X at Jody_Jackson. Again, that's at Jody_Jackson. Welcome as always, girl. I suppose the opening.
Hi, Jimmy B.
Hi, girl. I suppose the opening question is, if that was the qualifying offer and he knew it long ago, was he trying to up the ante with other teams and he just couldn't get it done? So he decided, all right, I'm just going to stay with the D-backs.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was a little bit more complicated than that in that, you know, he declined the qualifying offer from the D-backs and was looking for a long-term deal. But the problem was that for other teams, there was a draft pick attached to it that, would have hurt other teams. So that was made it a little bit tougher. So now when he goes into free agency next year, that won't be attached to him. So that's something that was a little bit daunting from, I think, other teams' perspective, that a high-round draft pick, needing to be compensated, as compensation is a tough one. So that was part of it. Plus, obviously, the year that he started off really rough. He gave up a lot of homers last year. I think at one point, one thing that he said to me, and I probably repeated it to you guys during the season, he said, a lot of these fly balls that used to be caught, in the outfield are going out. And that's what we saw early in the year. And then he kind of, the ship got back on track, or righted the ship a little bit later on in the year, which was really good to see. I don't know if that was just some things that he did. I know James McCann, he attributed a little bit of it to some things that McCann was doing. I know he also enjoys working with Gabriel Moreno, but, he's a younger guy. So maybe those two things, those guys are back this year, and that's kind of nice. We know that Zach feels comfortable here. So, I mean, sure, he would have, if any team was willing to do what it was going to take to get Zach Gallen in free agency and give him the right money. Now, he said that he had some other offers, but the average annual value was not really where he had wanted it to be. And we know he's a Scott Boras client, and, they're running all the numbers and all the things. And I just think at the end of the day, it's really a credit to the D-backs that he felt comfortable here with Torrey and Mike Hazen and the catchers and the team. And I think it's pretty cool. He and Merrill Kelly are going to be back together and leading this rotation.
Well, I think to that point, Jody, you just said Merrill Kelly's back, Zach Gallen back. And I'm sure that Merrill tried to influence him whatever way he could. But Scott Boras doesn't get influenced very easily. He's looking for his client, and that being one Zach Gallen. But to that point, I would say that having Zach Gallen back would solidify this starting rotation until Burns gets back and maybe takes a little bit of load off of a Ryan Nelson or a Brandon Pfaadt, et cetera, to have the first 2 or 3 guys up front kind of set the tone for the season.
Yeah, it's really great. I mean, those guys have been through everything together, the good, the bad, and the good, of course, being the 23 World Series. And I think regardless of what fans, especially, with Merrill's been pretty consistent, but, some fans obviously were not too thrilled with Zach the way that he started last year, but you can't argue with the twosome that led your team to the World Series. They to me, are the biggest reason the team went to the World Series. There's just the consistent pitching all season to get in. They barely got in, but they got in. And then to get into the playoffs and the games that they had, the path that they had, Dodgers, Milwaukee, Dodgers, Phillies. And then obviously we know what happened against Texas. But they both had a really good, excellent outing against Texas. Merrill had a great outing. Zach had that elimination game where he just tried to keep them alive, and it didn't end up working out, but he was into a no-hitter through, 5 or something like that. So, yeah, these guys conjure up good feelings. It allows you to have, Brandon Pfaadt. I think the other thing is Brandon Pfaadt needs to have a better year. And Ryan Nelson, we saw him be dominant at times. Both Ryan and Brandon Pfaadt have had really good stretches. And so where's that going to land? And then Eduardo Rodriguez, but those guys have been a little less consistent. So where are they going to be? And then Mike Soroka ends up becoming, depth or whatever I'm not sure what they're going to do with him, but you always need more than 5 pitchers. So that's going to be terrific for the team.
Jody, when you look at this team overall, the pros and the cons, infield looks pretty solid. First base, is it Carlos Santana? Is it Pavin Smith? Whoever that is. But otherwise, second, short, and third. Outfield, even though despite the trades with Blaze and also McCarthy moving on, it looks pretty solid all around, catching-wise, even though Del Castillo is going to be down for a little bit. But otherwise, it looks like a pretty solid, mature, experienced ball club when you look at it from afar.
Yeah, I think it is. It hurts when you don't – if you're comparing it to last year's starting lineup, you don't have Naylor and you don't have Suarez. But I think by adding Nolan Arenado over at third, it's not the bat of Suarez, but it's a veteran guy. It's a guy that wants to, loves it here, is excited to be here, and then he provides great defense. So you've got him checking kind of 2 of the 3 boxes as far as he's bringing leadership, he's bringing his glove, and then the bat, we don't know. I actually think it's going to be a little bit improved from last year. Is he going to be, this tremendous offensive force? Maybe not, just because it clearly has declined the last couple of years. But I also think he's going to be invigorated by being with this team and excited to be here and with a vibe that's a little bit different than the Cardinals had the last few years. The Cardinals were a very rich in tradition and successful organization that's been kind of down the last 2 years. And I think that kind of zapped a little bit of the life out of a few guys, especially like a veteran like Nolan Arenado. So, I'm excited to see that. But, yeah, it's a team. Everybody knows what's expected. There aren't any pieces that are going to need to be acclimated. Lawler continues to be a guy that you want to see produce at the big league level. But, again, these are guys that all know everybody within the organization, and so they know what the standard is. There's going to be no sort of trial period with these guys because they're all pretty much the same.
Jody Jackson's our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Jody, the Dodgers have outspent, obviously, everybody once again. That's just what they do, and they are the model of, I guess, winning a World Series. But aside from the Dodgers, between San Diego, the Giants, and the Diamondbacks, I'm not going to throw the Rockies in here. Is it a battle for second place? And do you believe that the D-backs can be that team?
Well, Jimmy V, you know me, I'm very optimistic, and I know the D-backs can surprise people. They've shown that in 2023. They've shown it in a number of years. So I'm not ruling out anything, including maybe second place. The Padres and the Giants certainly, I've seen a lot of people, I'll just be honest, like I've seen a lot of people, pundits in MLB and very smart people picking the D-backs to be like, are they going to be third or fourth? They're putting the Padres second just based on some of the, even though, the Padres bullpen is excellent. I still think there are some questions with their starters. I think they have a very good line. They have some very good talent in the lineup, but is it deep enough? And then the Giants, they've made some interesting moves lately. They've signed a few people that you're kind of scratching your head, but they're, I think they could be in the mix. And a lot of people have picked the D-backs to be fourth, but I really, I would have to say I see the D-backs more third or pushing the Padres for second. I'm not necessarily a believer in the Giants quite yet, and then the Rockies are still quite a ways away as they seem to be on the right track, but they're still far away. So I'm excited. Again, I think the bullpen is the X factor. A lot of people are writing off the bullpen, but we all know one thing about a bullpen is if the guys are great, it's going to be it's just never, it's always in flux. Because if you go out there and maybe maybe that's why the Padres are so great because they're not. But even the Dodgers bullpen, in most bullpens, guys are on a run and they're fantastic, and then they hit a speed bump, and whether they're a little bit nicked up or they're just losing, they're getting attacked. Hitters are finding a way in the 8th, 9th inning. They usually go through a rough patch. So I'm hoping that this group, they find themselves back. Now, I'm not going to say, are they going to be like September of 23? I don't know about that, but they still have Ryan Thompson. They brought back Paul Sewald. They think that, with Paul, he says he's healthy, he's ready to go. He had a great run, and then he had a really rough run. So what are we going to have? I think there's every opportunity for these guys to redeem themselves. If the bullpen can be more stable, I think they have a great chance to be in second or third.
Jody, what's the chatter around this ball club right now as you get ready to cover this team and find some of the background stories, and you talked to a lot of the pundits out there? What is the chatter for this Diamondbacks ball club going into this 2026 season?
Well, I think number one is what I kind of went over, which is just it's a lot of the same guys. And I think that's cool, but then, there aren't as many storylines. But I think with Corbin out, I'll say this, and maybe you guys already know this, I think we're starting to learn more on this, is that nobody really expects Corbin Carroll to miss much time. So,
hopefully.
It's just because he's always played through pain, and he's always made himself available. And I remember it even when he had a knee bruise, and most guys, this guy plays through a lot of things. So, and oh, by the way, even if, the hand is not perfect, his speed changes things. So he could put a ball in play and maybe he makes it to first base. So, for everybody that's listening and is a little down about, Corbin Carroll's not going to play, I don't think he's going to miss much time. He's going to try to play on opening day. And if he does that, that would be amazing. But if not, I think it's still going to be only a week or two behind. I think, a lot of it is Perdomo. Is he going to be able to have the same year? That would be incredible. Lawler's going to be a story. Can he be, really the outfield now? Because you are going to, you don't have McCarthy and
Alexander.
You don't have Alexander and Gurriel, who's on a great track. But Gurriel's, my word is over there that he's pushing to get back tomorrow. And they're like, hey, look, man, you had a torn, you guys know football. Obviously, Manuch, you lived it, but a torn ACL, you don't just come back after 7 months. So
no, you
I've
don't.
had one. Trust me, I know.
I will. Oh, Jimmy B, you had one. Okay, yeah. So, and what's crazy is Gurriel. I think he's just built different. We know he comes from this family of amazing baseball players, and so why his knee seems to be fine right now, I have no idea. But so he's still looking like maybe June or late May, but that's not a bad thing either. So, the chatter is there's really no. I would say it's just kind of we've seen the best of this group, and then we've seen the worst of the group, which was mostly due to injury. So where can they end up landing? And you can never it's got to be. I guess the other thing is a little detail. You know, the D-backs have always been really good at that because they know they can't just spend $400 million. So can they still be really good at the little details? And Jeremy Bleich, who's is it Bleich? Bleich, I believe it's Bleich, the new pitching development director. That's kind of gone under the radar. Yeah, that was a hire in the off season, and I don't think he's not out talking to the media and stuff like that. They're probably it's probably a little under the radar, but how's that going to help everybody? So we'll see. I'm excited for that.
I'll give you 30 seconds. Are you enjoying your ride at ASU calling the games?
I really am. I'm actually getting ready to go do UConn, visiting ASU. They have a great program. And boy, because I was always busy doing other things, I never really got into the start of college baseball, but it's really a lot of fun. Even my Miami team, I haven't even seen what they're doing because there's so many teams playing out here in Arizona. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And if you guys would love to tune in to ESPN Plus tonight, you'll hear Braden Bell calling the game and myself with some color analysis. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
We love listening to you. Thank you, Jody. Thanks for your time, okay?
Thanks, guys.
See you. Jody Jackson, everybody, pre- and post-game host for the Arizona Diamondbacks. All right, this segment presented by Backyard Desert Ridge. Don't wait. You can swing by Backyard Desert Ridge, claim your seat for all of the NCAA hoop action and soon Major League Baseball games as well. By the way, we will be next week at Desert Ridge, Suns, Celtics. Come and hang with us. Once again, Desert Ridge next week. When we come back, we'll do a little on this day and some football at 50 as well. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
Looking for the perfect place to eat, drink, watch the game, and keep the night going? That's Backyard Desert Ridge. Enjoy elevated bar favorites and a killer drink menu. Catch every play on 40-plus HD TVs or 4 massive LED walls. Then challenge your friends to a game of your own. And when the game ends, the party keeps rolling with live entertainment and DJs nightly. Backyard Desert Ridge. Comfortably familiar, always exciting. We'll see you in the backyard.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Whatever you're craving, we got it. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon pours, and top shelf spirits served over ice balls that hit just right. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails, yep, all here. And with 5 Valley locations. And don't forget the teeth-chattering 29-degree drafts we're famous for. Pair it all with scratch kitchen bites that actually satisfy. From shareables to hearty favorites. When it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people with upfront pricing before the work starts. So there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplummingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Babbo Italian Eatery invites you to its 5th annual Baseball for Babbo Day of Giving, dedicated to raising funds for the fight against pancreatic cancer. On February 25th, all 7 Valley Babbo Italian Eatery locations will donate 100% of their profits to this cause. This event honors Ken Pollock, the late founder of Babbo Italian Eatery, a devoted baseball fan who lost his battle with pancreatic cancer in late 2022. Visit any Babbo Italian Eatery location on February 25th and contribute to a life-changing cause. Find a location at babboitalian.com.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B want to take you back. A quick reflection on some of the more memorable moments in sports and pop culture. Now, time for your Right Toyota On This Day report. Right Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Right Toyota in Scottsdale.
Manuch is really itching to make this happen in a hurry. So without further ado, it's yours, Big Stallion.
All right, February 17th, going back to 1994, David Robinson recorded the 4th quadruple double in NBA history. In 1972, Wilt Chamberlain became the first NBA player to reach 30,000 career points. Olympic-wise, 1998, USA women's ice hockey team beat Canada to win the first Olympic gold medal. 1980, speed skater Eric Heiden won the 5,000-meter race. He's second of 5 games. And in motorsports, Danica Patrick, going back to 2013, became the first woman to secure the top spot for a NASCAR Sprint Cup race, taking the pole for the Daytona 500. So you think about that. First woman, she won in open wheel, i.e. IndyCar racing.
You did.
And then this one was like kind of setting the tone from that particular standpoint. So that's a few things that happened on this day.
All right, let's don't waste any time. Little football at 50. This is Manuch's wheelhouse.
All right, give me a little bit of that love, Connor.
Yeah, boy.
All right, so just recently, Teron Dickens out of Western Carolina has signed a new little NIL deal from the portal with North Carolina, and he's going to be added to that roster by Bill Belichick. Belichick pretty much wants to go in a different direction. Now, this kid, if you haven't heard about Dickens, FCS quarterback, as I mentioned, out of West Carolina, threw for 3,500 yards, 38 touchdowns last season. He's going to compete for the starting role with Billy Edwards Jr. and Miles O'Neill. Now, you look at him in the 25-26 season, as I mentioned, 38 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions.
That's amazing.
Hell, I couldn't do that versus air.
No.
Somebody come out of the stand.
You throw 5 picks just on this show.
Exactly. But it's the completions that take us deep. 74.2% completion percentage. He set the NCAA record for most consecutive completed passes in a single game. Are you ready for this, folks?
Okay.
46. Woo! So on October 4th, he threw 46 complete passes in a game. As I said, I couldn't do that versus air. 46 complete passes. That includes my warm-ups on top of everything. I got to tell you, CC might have a little heartburn with this. Sac State is going to be going to the MAC, leaving basically the Big Sky, and pretty much they're going to be moving over for football only.
Yes.
So for football only, the entrance fee is expected to be $18 million.
Oh, you got that in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly. They'll also need to pay $5 million to the NCAA.
What for?
As far as moving up. So yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So this will keep the MAC at 13 schools.
Yeah.
Sac State's going to replace Northern Illinois, who moved up to the Mountain West Conference.
They did.
And as we mentioned last week, North Dakota State's also moving up. The move cost $12.5 million. Northern Illinois paid a $2 million entrance fee to go to the Mountain West. Sac State, CC, Sac State going to the MAC from the Big Sky.
Yeah, that's a really frustrating move for somebody who grew up out that way. I get it. Everybody wants to be part of this new FBS world where you're starting to hear about transfer portals and NILs. And to be quite honest with you, it's the FCS that's really getting hurt out of all of this, because all these good players who end up being good on an FCS team inevitably just jump up to the next school, next program. I understand Sacramento State wanting to do that. However, this deal is ludicrous. The amount of money that you're paying to join a conference in the FBS, which has almost no notoriety other than the fact that they're playing midweek games, guys. We're talking about playing a football game on Tuesday or Wednesday night.
Hey, don't knock it.
I'm not knocking it.
When I'm on the treadmill, that's the best thing to watch.
When you're on the treadmill or when you're at the local joint, you're thinking, man, is there anything on? Oh, great. It's, Maction. It's a bad move. I think that Sacramento State hasn't even had the success in the Big Sky to honor that. And not only that, you are paying teams to come and visit you.
It's interesting because the one thing that North Dakota State's going to have to do going to the Mountain West, they're going to have to keep up with the Joneses. If not, there's some financial penalties for them. If they go 4-8, 4-8, 4-8, Mountain West is going to go timeout, guys. You're getting the benefactor of moving up and getting all this TV coverage. So I wonder if it's going to be that way for Sac State to go to.
That's another thing.
The MAC.
Sacramento State's not even getting any of the media availability.
None.
They're not getting any of the proceeds from it. They're not getting it. I don't even know if they're invited to the media day at this point. Like, it's a mind-boggling move, and I get it. You want to put that MAC patch on, and you want to say you're part of the FBS to make a chance at the big dance, right? Boy, you better hope they're moving to 24 or 38 teams at that.
And they better have
State's going to make it.
They better have some serious NIL money to go and pay some of those kids to come and play.
Didn't Cam Scadaboo start at Sacramento State? Then came to
I
ASU?
remember he ran all over us at Utah Tech.
I was going to rub that in.
That was about that. That was where he had like 250 yards in the first half.
I was going to rub that in a little bit.
And last but not least, former NFL star Tyrone Wheatley is going to be joining the Illinois staffs. Illinois making some moves, getting some former players, former defensive coordinators. So they're making some big moves there at Illinois.
That is our Football at 50. It's presented by Twin Peaks, 5 Valley locations. It's your go-to place. By the way, try the new baked pretzel with the chipotle queso. It's double stacked nachos and brisket, or the smokestack burger. It's loaded with smoked brisket and barbecue sauce. Cold beer always at Twin Peaks, and wall-to-wall sports. Eats, drinks, scenic views. Make it Twin Peaks. When we come back, it's our GCU Lopes report. Radio color analyst Paul Coro will be our guest. They have a date tonight against San Diego State. We will talk to him about that. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620 98.7 FM, HD2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
This President's Day, if you're shopping for a new truck, SUV, electric vehicle, or crossover, you owe it to yourself to check out your Valley Chevy dealers. During the President's Day sales event, drive yours away this President's Day. Live life bigger in a Traverse, or the roomy and dependable Trax, where versatility meets agility, or the Silverado or Colorado trucks that fit your lifestyle. Don't miss out on the chance to drive yours away this President's Day. See your Valley Chevy dealers during the President's Day sales event, going on now.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Over 35 years, I've seen it all. Car crashes, work injuries, defective products, medical mistakes, lives flipped upside down in an instant. But I've also seen something else, the power of fighting back, the power of winning. Over $30 billion recovered and counting. Size matters, reputation matters, results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Arizona lawyer will handle Arizona cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Lerner & Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Call 977-1900.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620.
Have you ever been to Rodizio Grill? Let me tempt you. Start your Rodizio experience with our hot, unlimited appetizers. Indulge on our award-winning gourmet salad bar with over 35 items. Then, 16 delicious, sizzling, rotisserie grilled meats and grilled items like our tender top sirloin and Rodizio's signature glazed pineapple, as much as you'd like.
Rodizio Grill, the Brazilian steakhouse.
Located in Mesa, North Scottsdale.
Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
Time now for the Lopes Report, powered by Global Credit Union on ESPN 620. Get ready to dive behind the scenes as we explore the minds of the top playmakers, coaches, and partners of GCU Athletics. So whether you're on the go or tuning in from home or in your car, let's go Lopes.
Oh, they've got a big monster game tonight. We're going to get into that during this particular segment. It is indeed our Lopes Report, presented by Global Credit Union. GCU Athletics, the playmakers, the coaches, and the people building one of the fastest rising programs in the country. If you miss it, we've got you covered, because every Lopes Report interview posted on Arizona Sports app and also at the Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B special platforms. Let's don't waste any time. He is the radio color analyst and writer and editor, GCULopes.com. You can find him on X at Paul Coro. Welcome, pal, as always. Big game tonight, but let us begin first with what took place on the weekend, where you trailed against the San Jose State Spartans and then found a way to take over in the second half.
Yeah, that was a wild game because GCU shot out to a double-digit lead, and that cured one ail because they had some slow starts. But then, Bryce Drew is trying to stretch out his rotation a little bit and used more bench than usual because they had, he had gone like 6-man down the second half of the previous game, and you just know that you got to be deeper for the postseason. So he worked in more guys, but then they lost the lead, and then all of a sudden San Jose State is like having the game of its life. So they're making shots and they go up double digits, and then finally GCU got its bearings, flipped it, had the biggest scoring half they've had all season. With 55 in the second half, 94 for the game was as much as they've scored in any game, shot the highest percentage in any game. So this program that I always tell you is predicated on defense, one with offense.
Well, Good point. You got to think about it. I mean, they hit 43% of their threes. They had the game of the year, really thinking about that. They were, 6-18 coming into this game, but all of a sudden they started lighting it up. They're up by 10, and then you guys end up pulling away from that. What are the lessons learned from this, or is it just there's not a lot you can do with good shooting besides getting out there on the perimeter defense?
Yeah, he wasn't happy with the defense in the first half, but some of that, too, he kind of tipped his hat to exactly what you said. They made some tough shots. Sure. I mean, Colby Garland is a guy that's been in and out of the lineup for them, and he's second in the conference in scoring, and he had 23 and played every minute of the game. So, an effort like that, he had 7 assists, too. So, it's kind of like, Dre Gibbs Longhorn did for UNLV when he played all 40 minutes and had 24. So GCU's heard that song before, but they dug in a little bit better defensively. They absolutely dominated the boards too. I mean, once you don't give a team any second chance opportunities, they had more than twice as many rebounds. So they just kind of inflicted their will. And Jaden Henley just, every game, I kind of mentioned on air that sometimes he's ho-hum Henley because it's like he has these great games and it's just like, oh, he did it again. He's only had one single-digit scoring game all season, and he had 24 points and a career-high 8 assists Saturday, and it just kind of came like a steady drip. he does some dynamic things, putting the ball on the ground and getting it to the rim, but he didn't make any turnovers in the second half. He had made 4 in the first half, so that's probably one of the best things for Bryce Drew to see, that the whole team had been sloppy with 10 turnovers in the first half and only made 3 in the second half, and they just needed. It was their first losing streak of the season coming into that game, and they just needed that get right game, because obviously you're stepping up like 5 more levels coming to San Diego State.
Paul, before he hit San Diego State, the motion offense that Bryce Drew talks about, when you have 5 guys in double figures, and you talked about Stromer coming off the bench getting 14, it seemed like they settled down. You talked about the turnovers in the first half and just got into their offense, but they moved the basketball. That seemed to be the big key for them.
Yeah, that was a 20-assist game. So, that's almost more than points. Obviously you're going to get more points with more buckets, but it wasn't one-on-one play. They were moving the ball and sharing with each other. It wasn't just, Jaden Henley. They almost have like a 3-headed point guard. There's not just one guy handling it, because Mekhi Williams and Brian Moore Jr. run offense a lot too. And Mekhi Williams had 6 assists that game and only 1 turnover. So, yeah, you're right. When they're moving bodies, and they also did a better job of finding F.A. Demerol that game. He had some foul trouble and only played 18 minutes, but he scored 15 points in 18 minutes. So they were finding the big man in there, and he's been flashing all season and working hard to get posts. It just seems like they've been doing a better job of finding him inside.
Paul Coro is our guest. We're talking Lopes basketball. This portion of the show presented by Lerner and Rowe. Just make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Okay, here we go. Big time ball tonight. Going to have a chance to watch it on television this evening. Set us up, Paul. How monstrous is this game?
Oh, huge. It's a chance to sweep a series against San Diego State. Who does that? In fact, GCU actually has the second best record of any team head-to-head against San Diego State in their program history. Only Washington State has a better record. The Lopes are 5-1 against San Diego State. Now, different story when you go to Viejas Arena. Their loss did come there. That was back in 2019 before Drew arrived. But, this is one of the best home programs in the nation. Tonight's an 8 p.m. game on CBS Sports Network. I'm going to tell you, I think you're going to see defense again. Now, maybe a San Jose
Are you sure?
game breaks on. Yeah, I'm not sure anymore. But these are the top 2 teams for defensive efficiency in the conference. And so it might be like whoever gets the 71st wins. And that's, it sort of was that game in Phoenix. So, as much as that game came down to the end with Mekhi Williams making 2 free throws to win the game on the last possession, the Lopes had a hearty double-digit lead in the second half and let it get away down the stretch. So San Diego State has a pretty good respect for what they did to them in Phoenix, and they're in a battle for first place right now. They're tied with Utah State. GCU is tied for that last first-round bye spot with Nevada right now in 4th, and a game behind New Mexico in 3rd. So, there's lots of things at play. We're in the stretch run now, just 3 weeks of regular season left.
Well, you just mentioned with the 6 games left, as you talked about, no wiggle room quite so, I would say, at all, PC. I think the one thing here, though, is lessons learned to carry you through these last 6 games. What would be the main lesson learned to hopefully carry the Lopes throughout the rest of the season?
Well, just the physicality you have to come with. Every game in this conference is different. And I think the coaching staff has learned that they probably can't ride as much as they're inclined to sometimes just lean on their stars. They're going to have to go a little bit deeper. The Caleb Shaw injury was just a really big blow to this team right when it was playing so well back in the Fresno State game when he hurt his ankle, and Brian Moore Jr. went out for a couple games in there with a hamstring, and they kind of lost their flow of when they were probably playing their best basketball this season. So trying to get back to that level, but, Wilhelm Breidenbach and Dusty Stromer both gave them big minutes off the bench. If Dennis Evans can come in and be that shot blocker that he is, and give him some time in the middle and be strong. His thing, at 7'1", he's a presence, but he also can get knocked around sometimes on the boards or screens. So it's that physicality again, because teams like San Diego State, they just come at you in waves. They have, the third best bench scoring in the nation. And so it's not just your battling starters. They also didn't see Magoon Gloss that game. He's a 7-footer that's back to playing for him.
So as you watch this team, is this team pretty much where they need to be? It's just a matter now of reps and trying to win out and get to that tournament play per se?
Yeah, I mean, you want to be playing your best basketball in March, and you always build toward that. So I think some consistency now is what they're looking for. I think on a senior-laden team, you start getting their attention a little bit more. These games all matter more. Their calendars on their careers are starting to wind down. This team this game at San Diego State, and they still have a game at Utah State. So the road to climbing in the standings is going to be arduous. You might have to steal one of these games where nobody wins. Usually, San Diego State hasn't lost a home game all season, so they would be going in to do something special. But when they beat the Aztecs the first time in Phoenix, the San Diego State hadn't lost a conference game, so they're not unfamiliar with doing new things against the Aztecs.
I think you touched on this earlier, but I'd like to have you elaborate. The Vejas Center is a very difficult place to play. They sell it out. The student body shows up. So it's a bigger arena than what Grand Canyon has, but is it still as active and as loud?
Yeah, it's a different kind. Probably a little bit more like the pit where, the entire crowd is loud, not just the student section.
Okay.
And, we just had a shoot around and a practice there last night too, and it's just a different arena because there's no break in the stands. Like most arenas have 2 levels. It just keeps going, and there's about 12,000 strong in there. So that place is it's got a different lighting too. It's kind of got that stage lighting where the court's bright and the stands are dark. But I'll tell you something. Since 09-10, there's only 4 schools with a better home record. You might have heard of them: KU, Gonzaga, Duke, and Kentucky.
Wow.
So that tells you a little bit about how hard it is to go into Vejas Arena and win.
It's always good, pal, when we catch up with you. Have fun tonight. We'll be watching. You know that.
All right. Appreciate you guys.
There you go. All right. It is action this evening, and we can't wait to watch it. GCU on the road at San Diego State. Always appreciate Paul Coro being on the show. And by the way, once again, you can find him on X at Paul Coro. All right. Weekend of basketball hoop upsets. U of A, Houston, both went down. Texas Tech now becoming one of the top teams in the Big 12. We're going to get into it in our next segment. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
Have you ever been to Rodizio Grill? Let me tempt you. Start your Rodizio experience with their hot, unlimited appetizers. Indulge on our award-winning gourmet salad bar with over 35 items. Then, 16 delicious, sizzling rotisserie grilled meats and grilled items like our tender top sirloin and Rodizio's signature glazed pineapple, as much as you'd like.
Rodizio Grill, the Brazilian steakhouse.
Located in Mesa, North Scottsdale.
Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks.
And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner & Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner & Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
For over a century now, Ford has been part of America. In my family, it's been generations. Paul Calvisi here. My grandfather worked for Ford Motor. My first car, a classic Mustang, still have it. But going to our Desert Ford dealers today means getting more than a vehicle. We're talking a full suite of benefits like complimentary Ford mobile service or try Ford pickup and delivery. Yes, to and from your door, and it's easy scheduling in the Ford Pass app. Tough would be built Ford tough. More than a slogan, it's an identity of the F-Series trucks. And the all-new 2026 F-150 is the best yet. With a completely redesigned interior and exterior adventure, how about the Ford Bronco Sport? It says, let's get it with 5 available trims so you can forge your own path. We recently bought a new Explorer at our Desert Ford dealers. Love the flexible seating up to 7. All the cargo room, the advanced tech. Bottom line, Ford is the future at our Desert Ford dealers. Just click buyfordnow.com.
Let's get back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B now on ESPN 620.
Texas Tech has already beaten Duke and Houston this year. Can they hand a loss to Arizona? Bradley. Tipped. No! And Anderson has it for Texas Tech.
Boy, they got Bradley going downhill, but just couldn't finish. And what a rebound by Anderson.
Each team with one timeout remaining. Grant McCaslin will not use his here. Open is Atwell. Got it! He buries a corner three to put the Red Raiders up by 2.
Shades of the game against Houston. He relocated to the corner, and Jaden Bradley just lost him.
Unbelievable finish last over the weekend. I mean, I'm telling you, that U of A Texas Tech game, that was absolutely sensational. Thank you to ESPN for that highlight. Manuch, let's start there then. With what Texas Tech has been able to accomplish, they play at ASU tonight. They don't tip until 9 o'clock, which means that'll be way later for you. You won't see it.
Oh, I'll be just kidding me. I'll be good to go. I'll text you at 1:30. See if you're up,
fine,
Jimmy B.
dude. That's right in my wheelhouse. I'm operating.
Yeah,
so,
right. Operating that sleep code.
So with what we saw out of UAA and Texas Tech, right now, U of A, Texas Tech, Iowa State. Also, you could put BYU in there, which U of A plays tomorrow night, but they have lost one of their best players, and so he's out with a knee injury. So from that standpoint, that changes BYU's total dynamic. Are those the 3 best teams if you also put Kansas in as well?
Did you mention Houston?
And I was just going to get there. Yeah. 4 best teams, or if I put in Houston.
There you go, Jimmy. I was waiting. We were waiting. What about that Houston team?
The 5 best teams.
You know what? I love this. I love seeing, you see 4 Big 12 teams in the top 10. As far as the rankings, we'll get there in a second. But, yeah, I think we're seeing the best basketball, or I call it NCAA tournament basketball here, these last 5, 6, 7 games, coming around the pike for these teams. And I think when you watch that Texas Tech game over U of A, could have went either way. Mm-hmm. I think if you get the best 2 out of 3, I mean, if you did that 3 or 4 times, you might have Tech win 2 out of 3, you might U of A win 2 out of 3. Koa Pete went out, didn't come out in the second half. Lower body injury. We don't know what the status of him is yet. But you saw this Tech team to end the game. You saw that Atwell shot in the corner to tie this bad boy up. Then in overtime, it just is like Tech had more energy.
They did.
They kicked out a couple of offensive rebounds, 2 in a row, to tell you the truth, to eat up a lot of clock. And then to get a free throw at the very end, they missed with a 1-1. They got the 1 out of the 2. And then even at that point in time, Bradley had a chance to get the shot off. It was interesting. I'm like, okay, they're down by 3. And you're at that dilemma if you're a coach. Do I foul him with the ball, or do I let him run down the court with, 3.5 seconds?
About 3.5.
Yeah, to go down there. So those, I think what fans love to see, those kind of games. It's just a matter of, okay, U of A, you've lost 2 in a row. when this team was 23-0, you could have never told me, would you lose 2 in a row? Now, I might say with the competition you had, KU and Tech,
right,
that you would probably have a chance, but not at home against Tech. But they really had no answer for Toppin.
Correct.
Who played all of 1 minute the entire game.
He sat out 1 minute.
Sat out 1 minute.
That's it.
The kid they paid $4.5 million.
He's worth it.
To come back and have 31 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, and the key was his offensive rebounding. You know, they had 7 offensive rebounds, 12 offensive rebounds, but if you look at the stats all the way across the board, it shows a close game stat-wise, and it was a very close game. In the end, Tech wins this one, at least for now.
Let us quickly then go to the top 5. We already referenced there are 4 teams in the Big 12 in the top 10. It's no surprise that Michigan is now the new number 1. We talked about that last week, and I said, look, if Michigan has a big performance over the weekend, they're going to make that jump. So I am not surprised with the Wolverines. Manuch, I watched some of that Michigan game. They are big, they are talented, and they are fast.
Yeah, I think that you nailed it there, Jimmy. It's their size that they get up and down the court like they do. They remind me of like the front 4 in football, a big, solid, physical, athletic group of guys. I mean, you watch them, good shooters. You don't really see a weakness in their game, and they're deep on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you watch them, it's almost like watching like Houston last year. Houston had that depth to win it all, take care of Duke in that final last year. But again, you talked about Houston, Duke, Arizona's dropped 3 with losing the 2 games in a row last week, but they're still in the hunt. And then UConn, Iowa State, who dropped 1, Purdue. Hey, Roc, your buddy might have some bragging rights here going on. They moved up 6. They move up 6 to number 7. KU at number 8, Nebraska 9. And then there's Illinois, number 10. So Nebraska and Illinois have dropped down 2. And then there's a few in the top 25. But Texas Tech has moved up 3 to number 13. So they are to be reckoned with.
Yes, they are.
We talked about them. But what a great game that was. Here was some 6, 7 games left in the Big 12.
And Texas Tech and ASU tonight. It's a 9 o'clock tip. 9 o'clock tip. My guess is there won't be a lot of fans there, but the game should be pretty intense. I want to see the matchup with Jop of ASU and also Toppin of Texas Tech. That, for me, that's the game within the game, Manuch.
Yeah, I think it is. I think for Bobby Hurley, it's going to be pretty much pick your poison. I mean, Tech is favored by 6.5 points at this point.
On the road.
6.5 point favorite. The over-under, 153.5. I mean, this bad boy can end up 95 to 65, something like that. But, you know, we've got a shot clock now, Jimmy B.
Yep.
You can't slow the game down. You can a little bit. But you can't do what do you call it? The
4 corners.
The 4 corners.
Of North Carolina.
Dean Smith's 4 corners.
Phil Ford.
That's amazing. But again, Tech is feeling it right now.
Yeah.
I think U of A will be fine. And it's just a matter of who's ever healthy. You know, in the next 3 or 4 weeks, then you got your tournament play before we see the Sweet 16, Elite 8, whatever. But do you question U of A at all right now?
No.
After a couple of these losses?
No,
I don't either.
I don't question them. No, they have talent. They're a skilled basketball team. There's no doubt about that. And you have just other teams that are A, just as big, B, just as skilled. And when you have those type of games, it's the survivor who ends up winning, and that's what happened in overtime at U of A, and Texas Tech ended up winning the game.
You know, I thought Awaka came in and showed that senior leadership.
Yeah.
You know, here this kid, he's a big kid.
Yeah.
He moves well, runs well, and, you know, here he is having a heck of a game coming in for Koa Pete, and rightfully so. The senior leadership, I think the poise, and Connor, if you have that sound of him as far as Awaka talking about the senior leadership, let me know when you have that. I think it speaks volumes of when these young guys come in to U of A or to KU or anywhere in the Big 12 or any of the, I call them the big boy conferences.
Okay.
You have to maintain your physicality. You have to maintain your strength because you're going to get it coming down at the end of the wire. And I think one of the things that Waka in the senior leadership of this U of A team has said is, hey, look, guys, this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. Here's a Waka talking about that senior leadership.
I think it's just a matter of perspective. I think I've kind of said this before, but March is still March. You know what I mean? So if we do what we do, if we do what we're supposed to do during that stretch, all this is forgotten. That's not to say that this doesn't sting and home losses don't sting. We know what the fans mean to us, and just the way that they're able to pack out the stadium today and show their support and how they've been showing support throughout the whole season. It's tough. I'm not really worried about my own feelings. The Bears, the effort, the energy that they put into supporting us and making sure that we feel, like we have an army behind us. So, it's really for the fans. But that stings when my heart goes out. But in terms of, the young guys, again, just keeping that perspective. Just knowing that, okay, we've lost 2 games.
So I think what he's saying there is, hey, look, stay dialed in, stay focused. I mean, these guys are getting battle tested as young guys. I mean, look at Burry's 16 points last night or on Saturday. Played really well against KU. Karchenikov, he had a good game, 13 points. Again, I think that these guys will be battle tested. But the one thing he's saying there is stay dialed in, stay focused, because there are freight trains coming at you for the rest of the year. And then, oh, by the way, there's this Big 12 tournament. You're going to get the best of the best before we get into March Madness.
Big 12 in Kansas City. Covered it many times, called it a few times. Can't wait for that. It's going to be great. Don't forget, it is ASU hosting Texas Tech tonight, Wells Fargo Arena. They tip around 9 o'clock. This segment presented by Backyard Desert Ridge. Don't wait. Swing by Backyard Desert Ridge and claim your seat for all of the NCAA hoops and Major League Baseball games, which are on the horizon. We will be there next week prior to the Suns and Celtics. So come by and hang out with us, Suns and Celtics, next week. And we will be broadcasting the show there 1 to 4 at Backyard Desert Ridge. Okay, when we come back, we are going to finish up here with some ASU conversation. Kyle Dodd is going to be our guest. I hope he can stay up late tonight because, as I mentioned, the game does not tip until 9 o'clock. Right now, let's get an ESPN 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. Arizona Diamondbacks catcher and designated hitter Adrian Del Castillo is dealing with a left calf strain and is expected to miss most of spring training. The team says they will reassess his status as opening day approaches. In better news for Arizona, Zach Gallen has officially re-signed with the Diamondbacks, signing a 1-year deal with deferred money, keeping the ace in Arizona for another season. And on the hardwood, Arizona State is home again tonight, hosting the Texas Tech Red Raiders at Desert Financial Arena with tip-off at 9 p.m. on 98.7 FM and streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. This ESPN 620 update is sponsored by Biggs American Bar and Grill. When it's game day in the West Valley, there's only one place to be, Biggs. Wall-to-wall TVs, cold drinks, and the best atmosphere around. Visit BiggsPeoria.com for more. ASU color analyst Kyle Dodd joins the guys next.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Right Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Right Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Right Toyota. Right Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Right Toyota. Make the right choice, Right Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at righttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out righttoyota.com.
Swing into Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf to get custom fit for the new Callaway Quantum drivers. The new Callaway Quantum drivers feature Tri-Force face, and the result is a faster face, more ball speed, and a quantum leap in distance off the tee. Check out the Callaway Quantum drivers today. Book your custom fitting in-store or online. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left?
I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that?
My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume.
Since taking Hair Volume, the shedding has all but stopped.
Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using Hair Volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Let's get back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B now on ESPN 620.
Here's a shot from Crotty, a three-pointer, no good, rebounded by Masamba Jop, and that will do it to it, Pruitt. And the Sun Devils hold on and get a gutsy win tonight here on the road, beating the Oklahoma State Cowboys by the final score of 85-76. Thank you to Arizona Sports for the highlight. That was the victory over the Cowboys of Okie State. Things are going to be different, however, tonight because they welcome in Texas Tech, which means it's our pleasure always to welcome in Kyle Dodd, ASU radio analyst. You can find him on X at Kyle_Dodd3. That's at Kyle_Dodd3. All right, my brother. So it's been almost a week since this team has played. Now you're going to match up against a team that is in the top 25, coming off a victory over the number one team in the country at the time in U of A. What do you anticipate tonight? And then I'm going to ask you a couple of questions as well about the guys within the game.
Yeah, I hate this league, man. I mean, this is stupid. But obviously, Texas Tech, a huge win down in Tucson. It's nearly impossible to win down there, and the only good part is we had a week to enjoy, a Big 12 win, and then I think get some guys healthy, get some guys rested, and I think the hope is tonight that you got the crazy late tip-off, which would be even later for the Texas Tech guys, but hopefully they have a little bit of a letdown because this team can really go. They're as good as it gets in the league, and I think they're one of a handful of probably 5 teams that are in the league that I think are Final Four good. So it's going to be a real task for the Devils.
I'm with you on that 100%. The thing about the players that I wanted to ask you, and what I find extremely intriguing, are we going to see Jop on Toppin defensively and vice versa? And how do you think that's going to play out?
Yeah, I think you'll see him maybe a little bit head on with Toppin. I think they may start somebody else on him and let Jop kind of roam and protect the rim. Toppin obviously is the player of the year last year. We saw how good he was in Tucson. And U of A is not a small team by any means, so he's just crafty. what's really funny is a lot of people are, say, man, you got to take his left hand away. And people really do try to take his left hand away, but somehow he fights back to it. And he's so crafty that he can get back to that left hook over the right shoulder. And man, he's got some great touch. So it's going to be a real challenge to stop him tonight.
It's interesting you bring that up because I asked Jimmy, what do you call that shot? It's just he hangs up. It's kind of a quasi hook shot. I mean, it's like, you think about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, nobody could stop the hook shot. But how would you describe that shot, him floating and hooking or shooting or whatever it is you call that shot?
Yeah, he mixes it up. I mean, there's times where he'll go underneath your arm and kind of quick it up and get it off the glass. There's times when he just backs you down and shoots a little jump hook. But then he also has the touch to catch on the screen and roll and shoot a little push floater type shot that is more of a guard type shot. So, yeah, I mean, they're extremely talented. I think it's important that we go at him and make him guard. I think you're getting drops and touches. Santi's been pretty good in the post lately. You're just getting guys to go at him and make him play on both sides of the ball.
Is it pretty much pick your poison versus this Tech team, Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, they do a little bit of everything. I mean, they can really shoot the basketball. They're really good in the screen and roll game, which I think they really gave Arizona trouble in the middle of the court ball screens, and they'll screen and rescreen until they get something they like. And they run what they run really well, and that's something you don't see anymore. I mean, I'm from the old school thought, like, if something works, I'm going to keep going back to it until they stop it, and that's kind of what they do.
Well, on top of that, it seemed like in that overtime, and I'm sure you had a chance to watch it, they just had a little bit more burst of energy. The offensive rebounds, the kickouts, the knockouts that they had as far as getting the ball back outside with, 15, 20 seconds. But it just seemed that they just really stepped it up as far as intensity was concerned.
Yeah, and I thought it was going the other way because I just think the other games that we've seen throughout the year that U of A plays, they usually do that to other people where they eventually just wear you down because they're so physical. I think having Koa out with injury, Tech didn't take the pounding that you normally would against U of A. So I think, it was kind of the opposite of what you've seen Arizona do this year. You see them wear people down. I thought Texas Tech had the legs at the end of the game to go make plays, and Arizona looked like they were a little bit tired. But they're not as big and physical, but they are very athletic, and they can make you make you tired in different ways. So I think, like I said, this is as good as it gets. I mean, I'm watching Iowa State and those guys, and then Houston last night. Yep. That's just big boy basketball in this league, and it's just crazy to watch some of these teams that are just doing what they do.
Let me follow up then with you referencing that game. Arizona lost at Kansas, then lost at home to Texas Tech. Iowa State beat Kansas Saturday, had a day off, and then beat Houston last night in an incredible college basketball game. And I see online that fans are struggling to understand, Kyle, that the Big 12 is the most difficult conference in college basketball. Can you explain, being a guy who played the game at a high level, what that means to the conference?
Yeah, I just think, it's just like I said earlier, I think you got 4 or 5 teams that are Final Four good, and every night you turn on the TV and there's a really, really good Big 12 matchup. And, to see that game last night, I mean, that's a game that you could see being played in the Final Four national championship. It was that high caliber of basketball. And I think what's crazy to me, I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying, man, that's tough because they only had a day off. I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. We used to play Thursday, Saturday. Yeah. That's the normal old school college basketball schedule. So I'm not buying that, but I am understanding how physical this league is. And last night was all about who the tougher team was. And it's not very often. I've told you guys, I think the league runs through Houston. It's not very often that I see a team match Houston discipline-wise and toughness-wise, and Iowa State was able to do that last night.
God, but as a player and coach, don't you want this kind of basketball to get you ready for tournament play and then the NCAAs? I mean, I would love this because it's like, okay, Let's see what we have and we don't have, and then we can adjust when we go into tournament play, see who wins the tournament, and then from that standpoint, going into the NCAAs, I would welcome that if I'm a coach or even fans.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, like I told people all week last week that I thought it was a good thing that Arizona lost a game. And then they lost 2 in a row, and it's absolute meltdown city. And I'm enjoying it, by the way. Don't get me wrong. I think it's hilarious.
Really, you are, Kyle?
I want to shake some of these dudes and be like, dude, I would love to have your problems.
Yeah.
Just relax.
Yeah.
But I think what they're doing, and not just Arizona, but Houston and Iowa State and all these teams in the league, they're getting battle tested, and they're not going to go up against any type of experience in the tournament that they haven't been prepared for. They're playing in all the most hostile environments. They're playing the most physical brand of basketball. The tournament's almost going to probably slow things down for a lot of these Big 12 teams.
You know, you watch these top 10 or top 15 teams, and Jimmy and I were talking about this. It's just that there's a commonality. There's size, there's speed, and, man, there are shooters everywhere. No matter where you look, you've got those 2 or 3 shooters. Now, they may not be on every night, but if there's one commonality, I don't care how big, how fast, there are shooters to get you back into a game or, unfortunately, shoot you out of a game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's why I thought, honestly, I thought Houston was in complete control last night when they went up 10. Houston's one of those teams, when you're down 6 to 10 points, it feels like you're down 25 because they're just so disciplined and they run their stuff so well. So I thought it was going to be pretty much them walking away with it the last 5 minutes. But to Iowa State's credit, they hit shots, and that, like, I think there was a big play in that game where they called a kickball that wasn't a kickball, but Iowa State hit a 3, got to stop, hit another 3, and it's like all of a sudden you're back in it. So the way the game's played right now, it's such a different style game that the 3 ball can get you back in things very quickly in this league.
So what do you anticipate tonight? Do you not let Texas Tech get off the bus when they show up at the arena? What's the strategy?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's the same thing that the Sun Devils have had to do the last several games, just play with an extreme sense of urgency, some desperation, especially these games that nobody's expecting you to beat Texas Tech, to be honest with you. So you're at home and you got to go back against the wall type mentality and just try to outcompete them. And I think if the Sun Devils can make shots and make some threes, they're going to be able to stay in the game. And I think the longer they stay in the game, the pressure shifts to Texas Tech. And I think they have an opportunity to do something cool tonight. We'll see what they do. It's going to be a late night, but we'll see what they can come up with.
Have you been impressed with Pig Johnson here these last couple of games? He seems to have really kind of, gotten under control, but he's just been tenacious as far as going to the rack. But it seems like he's pulled back the turnovers, if you will.
Yeah, I think he's kind of regrouped, settled down a little bit. Mo's done a much better job kind of running the team like he was early on. And then, I saw a different team on the glass against Oklahoma State. They really attacked the glass. They've been getting beat up on the boards all year, and we put it on Oklahoma State. I think we had 19 offensive rebounds, which was really huge. And I think that's a huge key tonight. Rebound the basketball defensively, especially. You got to finish defensive possessions, limit them to one shot, and then just try to get some extra possessions for yourself.
Would you please go and thaw out Bryce Ford? Can we just get the shots going? Go put him in the sauna or something. Let's get it going, Bryce.
Yeah, he's been on it a little bit the last couple of games. Really good looks and shots that Bryce has made all year. And sometimes it's, as you know, in any sport, confidence is a crazy thing. So Bryce just got to believe that he's a good shooter and believe that that's the reason why he's at Arizona State, and just keep shooting the basketball. That's the thing that I love. Coach Hurley has pulled him off a couple times and said, hey, you're going to make these shots. Keep shooting, and encouraging him to keep taking those shots.
Always good, pal, when you take time with us.
Okay, get your nap.
Get your nap in, and a couple of shots of tequila, and then we'll be listening.
Hey, that would make for a hell of a 9 p.m. tip if I did a little tequila before.
You're the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle.
See you, Kyle. There you go. Kyle Dodd, everybody. And it is a 9 o'clock tip tonight at the Wells Fargo Arena. Texas Tech and ASU. Manuch is all excited because his favorite UFC fighter, Ronda Rousey, is back. Yep, she's coming out of retirement. You should have heard what Manuch said to me. I can't repeat it on the air.
That's a quarter comment. So we give Jimmy a quarter anytime he says something. Go call somebody that cares, for crying out loud.
You'd be surprised. There are a lot of people.
Whatever.
Ronda Rousey's
It
going
actually
to fight?
is a pretty big deal.
Damn right.
To be honest with you, Ronda Rousey coming out of
You
retirement.
guys,
there you go, dude.
You guys,
Also known as one of
you
the
guys
best
need
Mrs.
therapy.
There you go.
This is
Therapy.
something that,
Yep.
to be fair, Dana White with his White House propaganda you're doing with the MMA.
All right. Time
gotta
out.
be careful
There's
with that
shows
going.
down the dial you go listen to, go participate. Not here. Go. You guys need therapy, and you need to go. I don't know. Therapy. What else is there, Jimmy B? Go call somebody that cares.
I did. I called you.
Yeah, whatever. What's next?
Back.
Women's lacrosse? You going to be excited about that?
I called a women's lacrosse game one time. Never mind. We're going to come right back. Our random fact of the day, it will not involve Ronda Rousey. And we'll also do some football at 50. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2 and on the Arizona Sports app.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per-person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with a perfect plan to ensure everyone's well-fed and happy. Grad party? Office celebration? Family reunion? Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people with upfront pricing before the work starts. So there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
When tragedy strikes, the impact is immediate and devastating. That's when the 100 Club of Arizona steps in, providing financial assistance, guidance, and emotional support to the families of public safety officers injured or killed in the line of duty. They also invest in mental health resources, injury prevention, and scholarships for the children of first responders. Every day, Arizona's public safety professionals put their lives on the line. The 100 Club of Arizona has their back. Learn more at 100club.org.
With Sun Devil women's basketball, it's not just a game, it's a show. The speed, the swagger, the no-look passes that make the crowd gasp, the intensity that feels like it could light up the court by itself. Every night, this team brings fire, fast breaks, big moments, and defensive energy you can feel from the top row to the hardwood. If you want basketball with heart, height, and pure showmanship, you want Sun Devil women's basketball. Get your seats now at sundeviltickets.com.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. OD's, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Pima JTED doesn't just work for students, it works for all of Arizona. Hands-on training, real-world skills. High school students become job-ready, and Arizona businesses get the talent they need to thrive. Without a skilled workforce, Arizona can't grow. But with Pima JTED graduates, our entire economy prospers. Join the businesses already investing in Arizona's future. Learn more at PimaJTED.org. That's PimaJTED.org. This message is sponsored by Potoff Private Philanthropy.
Let's get back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B now on ESPN 620.
All right, so we have discussed the Rousey return in UFC fighting. So now Manuch wants to get back where he's comfortable.
Real sports, thank you.
Random fact of the day.
Well, Shaquille O'Neal, you sitting down with this one?
I am.
He missed a lot of free throws.
He did.
He missed 5,000 317 free throws during his NBA career.
Wow.
Now, I have seen him bring down a couple of baskets in his lifetime.
You've seen him do that.
I was when he was with Orlando, watching the Suns game, and before they had the breakaway rims, he slammed dunked the ball, shattered the entire backboard, glass everywhere.
Yeah.
There's about a 20-minute stoppage. Everybody got off the court. Fortunately, nobody got cut with that. So that was before the breakaway rims. But, 5,317 free throws. And then in 1935, this is truly amazing. It tells you the kind of athlete that Jesse Owens was. He set 5 world records in 45 minutes. Count them 5.
Yep.
He had 5 world records in 45 minutes. That basically tells you the great athlete. There wasn't much wait around for 2 hours, go to the next heat, wait around for 2 hours. It'd take you 3 days to go 5 world records. So Jesse Owens, 1935, set 5 world records in 45 minutes. So there's a couple random facts of the day.
Hey, Hitler, suck on this. There you go. And he did. Football at 50 coming up right now. Make the right choice. It is Right Toyota. Trusted service, a huge selection, dealership that puts customers first. And you can always find what you're looking for online at righttoyota.com.
Today is the first official day for NFL franchises to tag whomever they want to tag. From today through March 3rd, teams can begin to applying franchise tags to retain core free agents ahead of free agency. So NFL free agency, unofficially, did I say unofficially?
You said
unofficially opens at noon Eastern time on March 9th with the negotiating windows when players can agree to terms. And it officially opens at 4 p.m. Eastern time on March 11th when players can usually actually be signed. So we put Laz up to the task of what does legal tampering mean? Okay, because they can legally tamper what's illegal. So, Laz, what does legal tampering mean?
Legal tampering is a 48-hour window before the new league year officially starts, allowing teams to negotiate contract terms with certified agents of impending unrestricted free agents.
So on March 11th, they can actually be signed at that time. So what's been illegal the entire year is now going to be legal starting March 9th. Basically, you can negotiate, do all that you want, and go from there. You know, I see this, and I look at a lot of the free agents that are out there. So, Laz, we also put them to the task. Maybe the top 50, top 100. Are there free agents out there you think, number one, might be tagged? I can't think of anybody for the Cardinals that might be tagged. The only guy I can even think of would be Jalen Thompson. I doubt that they'll tag him. But who are some of the usual suspects to maybe be tagged, or maybe some of the top free agents coming on board in the next couple of weeks?
Well, they thought Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker III might be tagged, but it's looking like as of today, the Seahawks aren't going to give him that tag, which means he's likely to become a free agent unless something changes on that end. Other than that, it looks like we just still have a few restricted and unrestricted free agents. Tyreek Hill, who's just released, he's going to be an unrestricted free agent.
Yep.
A guy that I like for the Cardinals, think could be a great fit for them, is Alec Pierce from the Colts.
Sure. Yep.
He will be unrestricted. And some other good options on the defense, Trey Hendrickson will be available. Khalil Mack will be available. Hassan Reddick will be an unrestricted free agent. And then back to and Joey Bosa too, but he's a bit on the older side, Joey Bosa.
Yeah, but he had a really good year with Buffalo.
Did. But he was also healthier than he usually is, so we'll see what happens there. I'm sure he'll get a nice deal, though. On the offensive side of the ball, we've got quite some options at receiver, and on the offensive line, receivers Deebo Samuel, Christian Kirk, David Njoku at tight end. As I mentioned, Tyreek Hill, he's going to be the big fish in this free agency. And then on the offensive line, we got guys like Joel Bitonio, and there's a few others. But I think the top fish are going to be Trey Hendrickson, George Pickens potentially, the center Tyler Linderbaum. He's going to be a huge sign somewhere.
He will.
We'll see what happens with Daniel Jones. We know he's got an injury, but I'm sure someone's going to want to try to see if they can get him healthy and give him another shot.
And I think the other free agent quarterback, is it Malik Willis? Is he available? Is he out there too?
He's not, but people are talking about potentially signing and trading for him.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But
Manuch,
I love Alec Pierce for the Cardinals. I think that could be a great fit.
Okay, Manuch, I have a question for you on the Cheetah. You know he's coming off the blown knee. Do you still, he says, I'll be ready to go. Do you still shell out some dough to grab him?
Well, I mean, as a free agent, you could pick him up for cheap, but I think he's going to want to shop his wares to see who the highest bidder is going to be. I don't know. I mean, he probably, instead of running a 4.3, probably runs a 4.4.
Oh, okay.
You know, it seems as though, I mean, he's still quick, he's fast. I don't know. The way things ended in Miami, some of the minutiae surrounding him, you don't know what's true, what's not. They're looking to try to, get rid of Tua, trying to trade him. Steve Ross, the owner, is saying he might eat the majority of his contract like Russell Wilson, like the Walmart family did when they traded him away to Pittsburgh. Yeah, the Cheetah, he's still very talented, but he just he doesn't have that home run gear anymore. I don't know if he's at a 4.5. I don't know. That might be something on the back burner if I'm the Arizona Cardinals fan. But there'll be somebody out there that fits his up. Matter of fact, Chris Jones of the Kansas City Chiefs.
He did, yeah.
He's like, hey, look, let me get the Cheetah back to Kansas City.
Yeah.
And I think Andy Reid and a lot of those guys that look at that and go, look, if we can get him for a bargain basement price, which I think he's going to have to do, then you bring him back. But his injury, is he mentally fine instead of being mentally irregular? There's a lot of things to unpack with the Chief.
Any takers on 38-year-old unrestricted free agent Russell Wilson?
No,
thank you.
No, I don't see that. That would be something that if you lost your QB during the course of the season early, then I think you would probably have to go to him.
He's in backup status right now.
He is.
And he would be fine as a backup.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hey, hour number 3 is on the way. The NBA All-Star Weekend was exciting. The game was. Also, we're going to dive into what the Cardinals are going to try to do in free agency. AZ Central, Arizona Republic's Bob McManaman will join us coming up at 3:30. We're hanging out today in the studio, ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm going to make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay, plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Here's what's different about GCU.
It's one of the country's biggest universities with over 360 programs shaped by industry leaders. GCU's campus ranks among the top in the nation. Most of all, GCU cares about affordability. The average federal and private loan debt for GCU undergrads is lower than the average for private nonprofit four-year universities. Find your purpose at GCU. Visit gcu.edu.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at ArizonaSports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a record need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. Final hour. We roll all the way till 4 o'clock, and we are presented by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. Just make one call, 602-977-1900. College basketball tonight. One local, one on the road. ASU hosts Texas Tech tonight. That game does not tip until 9. And then in San Diego this evening, GCU matched up against San Diego State. I'm looking forward to watching both of those games this evening.
Yeah, I think for GCU, San Diego State, a good that litmus test trying to win over there at SDSU. And at this point, it's GCU, I think, is realizing in this Mountain West Conference that, hey, this is go time. You got six games to play. As far as getting yourself ready for the tournament play versus the NCAAs, I think, what did they take, 4 out of the Mountain West? They took 4
They took 4 last year.
Yeah, I think that for them to go on the road and to play over at San Diego State, they beat them earlier over here.
In a close game.
I think it'll be another close game. This ASU-Texas Tech game, you just hope ASU can hang around for a half, turn it into a game. But what we saw with Tech taking on U of A this last weekend and what we saw in overtime, this is a damn good team. They hustle. They've got the shots. Toppin, that kid is at an all-new level. I don't know, maybe you run at him, couple, 2-3 guys. Maybe you
try to get the ball out of his hand.
Get the ball out of his hands. A couple forearm shivers. A little more physicality with this Tech team. But, boy, they get up and down the court, Jimmy, just like no tomorrow. 6.5-point favorite on the road. Tech, the over-under 153. This could get ugly. That could be a 95-65 game.
Could.
But if I got to believe if ASU can just slow it down a little bit, they're outside shooting. Bryce Ford's got to step up. He has been in a funk, it seems like, the last couple of weeks. But you talked about Jop.
Got to get him the ball.
Get him the ball. Let him do his thing down low. But then again, when you only have 8 guys to go up and down the court with and play at that kind of frenetic pace, very, very difficult for ASU to have any kind of a chance to win this game.
So I sent you a text the other night about the NBA All-Star game. And I got back in time to watch some of it. I found it to be very entertaining, much better than what we have seen maybe for the last 5 to 8 years. And guys actually diving on the floor and blocking shots everywhere. There were block shots everywhere in that game. It was fun. And I thought the new format, the USA against the world, and you had 2 USA teams, I enjoyed it, Manuch, and I think that they may have finally hit on something where it will be more competitive and more entertaining.
Yeah, it looked like it meant something to these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with Team Stars taking on the world and Team Stripes taking on the world. And Wembanyama, I mean, the kid has 19 points in the one, 14 points in the other. But I love the competitive nature of watching these teams go at each other. I think it was fun to see. It was competitive. To your point, guys are diving for the basketball.
They were.
And then you've got the Team Stars versus the Team Stripes. You got the young guys versus the old guys. A lot of smack talking going up and down the court.
Yeah.
But it just seemed more, the guys seem more dialed in. They seem to be more entrenched in winning the games. And I like that about this format, is that more competition. This game meant something. And you can see the frustration with the world team losing to basically Team Stars and they're losing to Team Stripes. They were close games.
They were, all of them. Yeah,
all of them were
with
close
the exception
games.
of the last one.
Exactly. All of them were close, except Team Stars just kind of ran away
in
with
the
Team Stripes
final.
in that final. But for a basketball fan, you went, okay,
yeah,
I can get into this versus watching the East versus West, or you have teams were picked by this guy and that guy. You know, it would have been fun to see international versus USA for an entire game. That would have been a lot of fun too. But I like this format. It was different.
Yeah.
And it actually meant something, and you saw more competition.
That brings us to our State 48 Roofing. It's your call question of the day. If you are looking for a roof inspection, you get a free one with State 48 Roofing. Here's all you have to do. Just go online, state48roofing.com. That's state48roofing.com. Or you can just go old school and just call them up at 480-268-4509. The question, do you feel the NBA All-Star Game was an improvement with its new format? 1, yes, more competitive. 2, no difference. 3, didn't care to watch. Well, if you didn't care to watch, nearly 9 million people did watch it, one of the highest NBA-rated All-Star games in 15 years. So they did something right, Manuch. They really did.
Yeah, they did. And again, just go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter and @Roc and Manuch on Instagram. You can vote. I said yes, it was more competitive.
I did too.
I mean, that's all I wanted to see. Roc and I talked about this on Friday. I said, look, all I want to see is some competition. I want to see these guys. It means something to them, that they just going to go hang out, and they're raining threes from all over. You saw more guys go to the rack. You saw more block shots.
Yes.
In a long time in an all-star game. So I think it was. And for those that didn't care to watch, it's probably, I think now that they've seen, to your point, Jimmy, that the ratings were way up, that this was more competitive, and there was an audience that was satisfied with the product that was out there, that so maybe next year they might watch it if there's not much going on. So I think overall it was be more competitive. I did enjoy the three-point shooting, though, the night before with Devin Booker.
So are you upset with Book that he saved his three-point shooting for the All-Star event?
Hey, yo, Book, where's that been all first half of the season?
Because I know you.
How about Lillard, who hasn't played the entire year? He feels good enough to come out from three-point shooting, and he's always been a phenomenal three-point shooter.
Oh, absolutely.
So the Achilles heel looks pretty good right now.
Yeah.
He comes and wins it, but Book had 3 shots at the end to win it, and they clanked off the rim. But I'm like, okay, hey, Book, can we dial that in now for the rest of the year, that you've got this three-point shooting, and you can basically take advantage of that with the the last third of the season moving forward.
By the way, the Suns do not play until Thursday. That's it, till Thursday. The Diamondbacks making a couple of moves while we were off. Zach Gallen is back. He just accepted the original qualifying offer. There was no negotiation. Here's the offer, dude. Take it or leave it. So he took it.
I think that the main thing, we had Jody Jackson on in the first hour, who's MLB.com. She covers the pre and post-game show for the Diamondbacks. She said that what Scott Boras was looking for was obviously more years out of it. It seemed as though that the anchor around the leg, or where it was pretty much was the draft pick. Nobody wanted to give up that draft pick, that high draft pick, in order to get Zach Gallen. And Zach Gallen's a middle of the road pitcher. He's a guy that's going to get.
He was last year.
He was. He's going to get $22.5 million. Now, if he'd have been a guy that was steady as she goes the entire year, it might have been different. But I think what Scott Boras is dealing with is a guy that people are going, look, go play one more year with the Diamondbacks. We're not going to give up a big time draft choice. We would pay you the money, but we're not going to give you the draft choice. Go prove to us that you're that guy you were a couple years ago in the World Series, 2023.
Right.
You and Merrill Kelly got hot. Go prove to us one more year. and then come back to us next year after this 1-year contract and go back out there without the draft choice. And then it's going to be a kind of a look and see for a lot of these teams.
I'm on the fence a little about this. And when I say I'm on the fence, okay, you're not spending what is considered to be not a lot of money for him. It is just a 1-year deal. If he sucks pond water again, well, then obviously you did exactly the right thing. You just gave him the qualifying offer, and that's it.
And that didn't change, by the way, folks.
No,
it's always been $22.5 million. So Boris did not come back to the Diamondbacks and say, look, we can't find anybody. we just can't find anybody that's going to.
Nobody wants us.
Nobody wants us because of this draft choice. It's kind of the anchor around the leg that we're dragging around. Do you still want us? Hey, look, he's yours for the qualifying offer. Yeah. Could you imagine if they'd come back and say, we're going to knock that down to 20? But that qualifying offer is always on the table.
That is. It's always there. This segment presented by Backyard Desert Ridge. Don't wait, everybody. Swing by Backyard's Desert Ridge. Claim your seat for all of the NCAA basketball action. And don't forget, Major League Baseball is coming up in just another month or so. So we will be there at Backyard's Desert Ridge next week. Suns hosting the Celtics. So come and hang with us, and then you can have great food and refreshments at Backyards and watch the Suns and the Celtics. That is next week. Okay, when we come back, Manuch, this is something that I've got questions for you. I'm going to fire a couple of questions about the Suns and the remaining part of the schedule, and I want you and your infinite fan, I want you to put your fan hat on.
Oh, it's always on.
Okay. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B right here, ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, Arizona Sports App.
Looking for the perfect place to eat, drink, watch the game, and keep the night going? That's Backyard Desert Ridge. Enjoy elevated bar favorites and a killer drink menu. Catch every play on 40-plus HD TVs or 4 massive LED walls. Then challenge your friends to a game of your own. And when the game ends, the party keeps rolling with live entertainment and DJs nightly. Backyard Desert Ridge. Comfortably familiar, always exciting. We'll see you in the backyard.
Swing into Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf to get custom fit for the new Callaway Quantum drivers. The new Callaway Quantum drivers feature Tri-Force face, and the result is a faster face, more ball speed, and a quantum leap in distance off the tee. Check out the Callaway Quantum drivers today. Book your custom fitting in-store or online. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Whatever you're craving, we got it. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon pours, and top shelf spirits served over ice balls that hit just right. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails. Yep, all here. And with 5 Valley locations. And don't forget the teeth-chattering 29-degree drafts we're famous for. Pair it all with scratch kitchen bites that actually satisfy. From shareables to hearty favorites. When it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Talk about stepping up! Bang! It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620.
In between the circles, bounce to Booker at the top of the arc. He turns and faces Christie, drives into the free throw line. Pull-up jumper from there is good for D. Book. 18 points for him tonight. Suns take the 8-point lead, 117-109 with 1:45 to go.
Thank you to Arizona Sports for the highlight. Welcome back, everybody. We roll till 4 o'clock this afternoon. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Suns do not play until Thursday. San Antonio Spurs are the opposition, and you will have a certain player. Dylan the Villain will not play because he is suspended one game. Manuch, as a fan, and I mean a hardcore, biased fan of anybody here that lives in the Valley.
Just don't bring up the coin flip.
All right, I won't do that. How do you react to Dylan the Villain being out?
You know, it's unfortunate because I don't think that the Suns have much wiggle room if they want to be in the playoffs versus the play-in. They're currently in 7th. They're a game and a half behind the Lakers right now as far as, being in the playoff. 27 games to go. You're not going to have a lot of wiggle room because I think you need all hands on deck if you're going to be in the playoff situation when you got teams like the Lakers in front of you. You got some of the other teams that are pretty much in front of you. And when I look at the NBA standings right now and I kind of go, who are the teams that are going to be the last, maybe the last 2 or 3 spots right now?
You're talking about the Western Conference.
Western Conference. So it's Timberwolves, Lakers, Rockets. So you're 9.5 back. You're only a game and a half to 2 games. So it could happen to anybody. But you got to look at who's healthy and who's not. And I think that the questions for Suns fans is Jalen Green. Can he remain healthy the remaining 27 games?
He hasn't been healthy the whole season.
Okay, well,
I'm not counting on him.
Okay, so that's one aspect. Dylan the Villain, you get you reset every 2, you get suspended. Every 2 technicals, you get suspended.
Right.
So he's got to sit out the San Antonio game. It's going to be tough to beat them no matter what. But if you're out with Green's out, if he's out, and we're getting an update on where he's at right now.
So Jalen Green, although there's no official designation yet, the most recent reports are saying that they expect Jalen Green to be available on Thursday. So he should play as far as we know right now, but no official report.
And I would say Devin Booker should be playing.
He'll play.
I think Grayson Allen, as of right now, you can double check me on this, Laz, is the only one that's officially out besides Brooks with his suspension. So when you look at the remaining 27 games and you look at the schedule, it would be tough to beat San Antonio even with all hands on deck.
Oh, absolutely.
Or they second.
They're behind OKC.
Yeah, they're behind OKC. They're playing very, very well. But so you start off with San Antonio on Thursday. You got Orlando here, Portland here, and Boston here. So those are 4 games in Lakers. Orlando, Portland, Boston, the Lakers. 4-game homestand after San Antonio. I think that kind of those 4 games, Jimmy B, kind of sets the tone of the rest of the way. But as far as staying in the playoff contention, it's you got to remain healthy or make sure that Dylan Brooks doesn't have any more suspensions, especially the last 2 weeks, because you need everybody. And I hope Jalen Green's able to go. History so far this year has proven 6 full games he's had, if that if you can get everybody on track, Grayson Allen included, play the last 2 or 3 weeks with all hands on deck, get the rotation figured out, get the mismatches figured out, get the matchups figured out, get all that figured out for Jordan to feel be comfortable if they make the playoffs or play-in situation.
Manuch, they signed a player out of the Miami Heat. How excited are you to see this player? You don't even know his name, do you?
No, I know the kid they signed last week, though, but I don't know this kid.
I actually think it's a great signing for the Suns. Haywood Highsmith.
That's who it is.
Haywood Highsmith.
Who the hell is Haywood Rice?
He's a very good two-way guard. He plays very tough defense, and he actually has got he's a good 3-and-D guy. He can knock down some shots from deep, and I think he'll bring some good energy to the Suns. I actually think it's a great use of that last roster spot.
All right, so Laz, since you know who he is and I know who he is, I saw him a couple of times on the court when I was watching the Heat game. Who do you think on the rotation? Whose spot
I was just going to ask that. Who does he take up for?
Yeah, I was going to ask Laz first, see what he says.
I don't know how much court time he's going to get
That's my
at
point.
the beginning, but I think guys like Bouye and and even, I hate to say it, Ryan Dunn, I think they lose a few minutes at a time to get him on the court because he is very physical and he's a big body. So I think he will get playing time. I just don't know what it'll look like in rotation.
How big is the kid?
He's
He is
6'6", isn't he?
About 230, 235?
6'5", 240.
There you go.
So maybe from the standpoint of physicality, I could see that, getting some, like a big body down low to bang a little bit.
Got to have a big butt down low.
And he's a decent shooter? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
very good 3-and-D guy.
Yeah.
Well, I think at this point, with 27 games to go, anything to improve, anything down low, I'd be part of. I'd buy into that.
So now, have you written his name down? Do you know who he is now?
Highsmith? That's all I know. Highsmith.
Tell him again, Laz. So
Haywood Highsmith from Wheeling University.
From where?
Wheeling University.
I'll misremember H squared. Haywood Highsmith, H squared. That H squared guy that nobody knows about. Hey, you know what? Anything to help the team.
Yeah.
And I thought your point was, okay, whose minutes does he get?
That's it. That's going to be the key.
At what point in the game will he be needed? Down low to give a couple forearm shivers, use up some of the fouls to maybe bang up against some of these bigger guys. But I look at these last 27 games, it's not going to be any easy sledding whatsoever for the Suns team. But once again, they've got everybody. I mean, I've been saying that everybody on deck. Grayson Allen's got to get this knee situation figured out.
I agree.
Because they miss his shooting, Jimmy.
Oh, yes.
They miss his points. They miss his scoring. He's so good underneath the.
He's a solid defender, too.
Solid defender. He's good with underneath, driving to the rack, dishing out. Right now, Grayson Allen, right now, he's proven to be more valuable than one Jalen Green. And I know Green can be pretty damn good, but can you trust him to be healthy the last 27 games of the season?
Manuch, I sat here, and this has gone on and on and on, and I said on the show, and I'll say it again. Second coming of Bradley Beal.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate
and
because
I don't want to say that, but that's what it's turned into.
Okay, here's the issues with the trade, and I'm glad that they made the trade KD to Houston. Okay, so you got Dylan the Villains, you got some anger issues.
Yeah,
maybe with this suspension, he gets a little mental.
Don't count on it.
So, and then you got Jalen Green, that's played 6 full games, if that. And
I
then
don't even think it's that bad.
And then he's question mark the rest of the season as far as his hamstring is concerned. So I like Dylan Brooks. I love his attitude. I love his tenaciousness. I love all that he brings. I love what Mark Williams is doing too. Don't get me wrong. But this thing is kind of, I'm not going to say backfired, but I'm waiting for it to ignite.
To be fair, guys, he did play in every single game last season.
I'm well aware.
I know. I think it's too soon to put Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal was dealing with health stuff even when he was playing good in Washington.
That is correct.
I think Jalen Green really might just be dealing with a bad hammy.
I think what we're dealing with here is the hype before coming is the same as Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal was really the only guy in Washington with the Wizards. So he gets here, you're going, oh my gosh, you're going to set the world on fire. We get Jalen Green, we're like, oh, good, he hasn't missed, to your point, he hasn't missed a game in maybe 2 games in 2 years. So there's that hype. It's the hype that is on par with Beal and Green. As a matter of fact, I think that Beal by this time had played more games than Bill has.
The one thing I will say that I think is clearly different, though, between the two is when you hear them talk in the post game, Jalen Green, it sounds like he is actually uncomfortable with not being on the court.
Oh, sure.
He completely, it's unheard of.
I don't give a rat's ass
Bradley
about
Beal was like,
the post game.
it's another day. You got to do what you got to do. Bradley Beal was totally okay with the situation, where I think Jalen Green is a little bit more distraught about it.
So for the Suns fans out there, Suns fans out there,
don't give a damn.
Could we please get everybody healthy and see what we have or don't have? I think that's That's kind of the bottom line. So it's going to have to be all hands on deck for this team. Number one, to get into the playoff spot versus the play-in spot.
I have a feeling that they will be in the play-in tournament. I for some reason, Manuch, the competition factor is going to go up a couple notches, and we will see if indeed the Suns can match that. You're not getting anything out of Manuch at all.
None.
And so you should just send him to the G League and let him play as much as he possibly can. So from the point that I want to make about what you're talking about being a playoff team and not a play-in team, I think that we're going to have a pretty good idea in the next 10 games.
Sure.
If the Suns are going to be battling for a playoff spot or battling for a play-in spot.
And that'll all happen with San Antonio on the road and then the next 4 at home.
Yes.
So these next 5 games, and I agree, Jimmy, I think the next 10 games, okay, if they can get bodies healthy, and then maybe Devin Booker found his 3-point shooting at the All-Star game. Hey, D-Book, because if you've got Grayson Allen out for an extended period of time,
that's
you're going to miss what, 20 to 22 points per game.
Yeah.
You hope that Colin Gillespie can get back on track the way he was.
Hasn't shot it well recently.
He hasn't. So that combination of Gillespie and Allen in the lineup with Dylan Brooks at the same time really is what gets this team out ahead or really sets the tone for a lot of these games as far as scoring. Otherwise, you're missing Green scoring. You're missing Grayson Allen scoring. Mm-hmm. You're missing a lot of points, and then hopefully everybody else can stay healthy.
Hey, the Suns conversation presented by our great association with Twin Peaks. Manuch, where are we going to be Thursday?
Thursday we'll be at the Deer Valley Twin Peaks.
Looking forward to that. By the way, don't forget when you show up at any of the 5 locations, you've got the Go for Scratch game, Midday Bites. That's right. Try the new baked pretzel with chipotle queso, double stacked nachos with brisket, or the smokestack burger. It's loaded with smoked brisket and barbecue sauce. I love that. Cold beer, wall-to-wall sports. You know what I'm talking about. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, and scenic views. When we come back, we shift gears back to the NFL. It is the Arizona Republic's Bob McManaman is going to be our guest. Right now, let's get you to an ESPN 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. Arizona Diamondbacks catcher and designated hitter Adrian Del Castillo is dealing with a left calf strain and is expected to miss most of spring training. The team says they will reassess his status as opening day approaches. In better news for Arizona, Zach Gallen is officially re-signed with the Diamondbacks, signing a 1-year deal with deferred money, keeping the ace in the desert for another season. And on the hardwood, Arizona State is home again tonight, hosting the Texas Tech Red Raiders at Desert Financial Arena, with tip-off at 9 p.m. on 98.7 FM and streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. This ESPN 620 update is sponsored by Biggs American Bar and Grill. When it's game day in the West Valley, there's only one place to be, Biggs. Wall-to-wall TVs, cold drinks, and the best atmosphere around. Visit BiggsPeoria.com for more. Bobby Mack joins the guys next.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge, dive in and drink up.
Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the Grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
Join the team at All City Towing.
Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lure & Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lure & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per-person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with a perfect plan to ensure everyone's well-fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Let's go inside the Cards locker room and down to the field with Bob McManaman. Bob's been covering Arizona sports for the Arizona Republic and azcentral.com since 1981. Now, Arizona Republic columnist Bobby Mack on ESPN 620.
Always good when Robert's on the show, always makes us better. That's why we invite him on every Tuesday at this time. You can find him on X at AZ Bobby Mack. That's AZ Bobby Mack. All right, so today franchise tags are out there. Can I just say one? Let me just say one thing, Bobby. Okay, when we get into free agency, okay. Can they go sign Breece Hall, please? Just go get Breece Hall from the Jets. He's a free agent, and get him in here.
Yeah. They could.
Well, I like Breece Hall. What about Kenneth Walker?
I would take him as well. Yes, him too.
You can't have both of them.
I know, but I would take either one.
Why not, Bob?
Why not?
Yeah.
Why don't you just draft Jeremiah Love at number 3?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of intriguing when you look at running backs nowadays, whether they come out of the draft or free agents. You just hope that they're healthy, that can last. If you're going to pay that kind of a king's ransom for somebody, you better make sure you get the money out of it, and maybe at least 2 or 3 years out of them on top of that, I would think.
I would think so. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with James Conner, and, I don't. I'm okay with moving on.
Yeah,
as good as he has been, and he's kind of defied the 30 definition age of a running back. I think he's an anomaly, and it wouldn't bother me at all if they keep him if he's healthy and he can get that foot going again. And I think he probably would. He is a good leader, but I'm all for just reinvesting in that position. You don't have to do it high in the draft. You can do it. This is the year of free agency running backs, though, guys. You're right. Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker are the top 2, but there's a ton of other guys out there that I wouldn't mind either. The kid for the Cowboys that they tried to get rid of and ended up leading them in rushing yards like the last 2 years. I love that guy.
And I can imagine the agents for these running backs that are out there have got to look at the type of offensive line that they want to go to. And I'm sure that I don't think Kenneth Walker, the third's going to be leaving Seattle anytime soon. I don't think they let him get away whatsoever. You know, Charbonnet coming back. I feel they want to run that back like they did this year. But, I mean, to that point, they want to go somewhere where they've got a decent line. And I think that team that gets them wants to make sure, because you can't run if there's nowhere to go.
Right. Which means the Cardinals shouldn't focus on a running back as much as they should focus on a tackle and a guard, maybe another guard, maybe even a new center. I like the center we have here, but yeah, you're right. You can't run an offense without an offensive line. And we're not even talking about quarterback yet.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
Well, you guys brought up running back for some strange reason. I get it, I guess.
Well, I did.
Why did you do that?
Jim, why'd you do that?
Because I was watching one of the monitors here, and they were talking about what a good free agency it is for running backs. And I saw Breece Hall as their top guy, and I thought he's perfect for coming here. But you're absolutely right. You got to have somebody. You got to have some fat asses who will block for you. And they don't have any.
Well, they're not going to complain about you saying that to them unless you're in a dark alleyway. But I would agree with you. That's why they're going to pick a tackle at number 3. It's probably why they're going to sway from that in the second round and draft a quarterback, which I think they should. And I wouldn't even mind them going back into the first round to get a quarterback. Hopefully Ty Simpson. I think I'm going to talk to Daniel Jeremiah on Thursday about this, fellas, about who could really be like an answer for this franchise down the road if you draft a guy in the second. And if you draft him in the third, I mean, it could still happen. Mm-hmm. I don't know where, there's some guys that you can foster if you got the right coaching and developmental system in place. But I'm more worried about that on the offensive line than I am running back. I'd run it back with Connor and the other kid if that's Benson. What happens. But they will find another running back. I almost guarantee.
Yeah, I would say the same thing, Bob. I think you've got to build with the offensive line. Right tackle, Paris Johnson Jr. at left tackle. Go get a new right tackle, whether it's a free agent or it's a draft pick. But you've got some interior issues you got to satisfy.
No doubt.
I think with Connor, Benson, and Carter, if you pick somebody down the road, I think that's fine. But, yeah, to your point, James Conner's getting a little long in the tooth, and he didn't quite have the explosiveness or power with him before he got hurt that at least we saw the last couple of years.
Well, it's been health. I think he has a power running game style. And in many ways, he's maybe I want to say shorter version because he's stout and he's physical as anybody, as Walker. But Walker dealt with injuries just like Connor did almost every year. I know because I drafted him on my fantasy team over the years.
You know him well, right?
The important part.
And those people like us, we remember things like that.
Yeah.
And the other areas you look at as far as the tag, we were talking earlier, I can't really see anybody that the Cardinals would tag. I don't think Jalen Thompson.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Thompson wouldn't be tagged, I don't think. Again, with the legal tampering coming up here March was it 9th, and then going through like 3 or 4 days to the 13th. This Monty Ossenfort's got his work cut out for him. He's going to have to not so much restructure, but he's got to hit some key holes to fill, whether it be via the trades, via the free agency, or the draft coming up.
Yeah, and let's not forget, he's probably going to cut a bunch of asses.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about that.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's going to save up a ton of money to get whatever you need the rest to get done. And that includes free agency. So people ought to be prepared for that. There's going to be some big names that get big names for us. Maybe, maybe not across the landscape of the NFL, but that's going to happen first. And when that happens, the dominoes will fall. And he better have his plans A, B, C, and Z in place.
I want to check the defense because I would be remiss if I did not bring that up. And they kept the defensive coordinator with Nick Wallace.
Yeah. I told you that was going to happen.
You did. That's why I was going to ask you that question. Are you happy that it happened, or okay, maybe they just didn't want to go somewhere else?
Jimmy, if I wake up every morning, I'm happy.
Okay, good man.
Amen.
I'm the same way, brother.
Hey, Bob, what does Carl Reiner, what he used to say? He said, if I don't see my name in the obituaries, it's a good day.
Right. Do they still have those? I don't even know if
No.
we publish those anymore. I don't think we do.
You did there for a while. I haven't gotten the paper over a couple of years, but they were in the back there. Yeah, in the one section, they'd have the obituaries.
I
back
saw
there.
my name in there about 15 years ago.
That's not true. It was a misprint. I think I wrote that.
I think Roc and I wrote it for crying out loud.
Well, I forgot what the question was.
Well, are you happy that he's back, Rollis?
Oh, happy. It's I don't know. Happy. I expected some retainment, and I'm not surprised. I don't know if I'm happy. I'm not happy about a lot of things, Jimmy
Okay.
and Manuch.
Yeah.
I'm pleasantly surprised. I don't know if I'm pleasant or surprised about that. Quite frankly, I wanted the cat that got cut loose or that quit on the Browns, Jim Schwartz.
Oh, yes.
That's who I was hoping for. That's a veteran guy who doesn't take any you-know-what. And, that's a way to build up a young coach, first-year head coach with some veteran guys. You bring in Hackett as the OC. That's great. You bring in a defensive coordinator with some, old school things like Schwartz. That would have been my ideal thing, but I don't know what's going to happen with him, so we'll see.
Did the Cardinals ever?
I'm not disappointed.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Did the Cardinals?
I was going to say I'm not disappointed at Rallis. I kind of suspected it, which is why I mentioned it last week.
Yeah, I think that I looked at that. I think after last couple of years, I think they needed a clean slate. I'd have loved to see Schwartz come in here. But when is it that the Cardinals have ever done the right thing in leading to a team to go ahead and put things like this together? That makes total logical sense to bring in another guy in besides Rallis or something like that. This team gave up 37 points on average the last 5 games. That's a ringing endorsement to bring a defensive coordinator back. Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, there are some people who point out all the injuries. I'm not going to be one of those guys. But that being said, attrition is a pain, in an NFL. And it's not an excuse, but, the depth just wasn't there behind those guys they lost. And some of the guys they lost were guys that are hoping, first-year, second-year players, Darius Robinson, the first-round pick from last year who got hurt with the same miraculous calf injury as the other guy. It's problematic. And it ruined his season. It ruined Darius' season the year before. It's like starting over for those two guys, and they were instrumental key cogs of the draft that just haven't been able to develop and produce, and that's a problem.
So Michael Bidwell says losing those 5, 6, 7 games by 3 points or less, that was a deciding factor. If I recollect, 5 of those 7 games were final drives by the opposing offense. I believe Nick Rawls was calling
the last 2 minutes.
In the last 2 minutes, exactly. So you fire your coach because of that, but the defensive coordinator was Nick Rawls. I mean, okay, what is it, Michael? You go, well, just because is he the rest of the best or nobody else? He's got 1 more year on his contract. I don't want to pay another guy plus pay out another contract. I mean, it's contradiction at its finest.
I wonder, and I've been wondering this more and more, if Michael didn't suddenly listen to the fan base, when he fired Gannon, and that he had to do something big to make a point. And because of what you just said, I do blame coaching for those close losses. And I'm not going to pin it on Riles or Gannon or Petzing, who somehow miraculously ended up on the top of the pudding cup in Detroit, which I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. Everybody loves that. I know a lot of people here didn't like it when he was here, so we'll see. But I just wonder if Michael Bidwell listened to the fans who were screaming for change and said, "Screw it, let's do it. I'm going to blame somebody. Somebody's got to go," and it was the coach.
Always good, pal, when you take time with us. We always appreciate you. You have a good day.
Thank you. All right, my friends.
There you go. That's Bob, everybody. Bobby Mack. You can find him again on X at AZ Bobby Mack. Bob McManaman, columnist, Arizona Republic, also AZ Central, again on X at AZ Bobby Mack. He's presented by All City Towing, and they are Arizona's largest towing company. Now, whether you're stranded or you need a professional transport, All City has the experience to get the job done and get it done right. And they're around 24/7. Just call them anytime, and they will come and help you. They are hiring drivers and dispatchers as I speak. So you can join the winning team at allcitytowing.com. And if you're looking for a new gig, allcitytowing.com, search careers. Again, that's allcitytowing.com and search careers. When we come back, we will check in on what's on tap. Our State 48 Roofing, it's your call, question of the day, and our Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620, 98.7 FM, HD2, also on the Arizona Sports app.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
There's nothing like it. The rush when the band plays, the roar when the Sun Devils take the court, the energy that shakes the building and pulls you to your feet. This is Sun Devil men's basketball, where every night brings the sound of something electric, something unpredictable, something you have to feel to believe. From the first tip to the final buzzer, Sun Devil Hoops is where passion lives. Be a part of it. Bring the noise, and let's light up Desert Financial Arena together. Get your seats now at sundeviltickets.com.
Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
For over a century now, Ford has been part of America. In my family, it's been generations. Paul Calvisi here. My grandfather worked for Ford Motor. My first car, a classic Mustang, still have it. But going to our Desert Ford dealers today means getting more than a vehicle. We're talking a full suite of benefits like complimentary Ford mobile service, or try Ford pickup and delivery. Yes, to and from your door, and it's easy scheduling in the Ford Pass app. Tough would be built Ford tough. More than a slogan, it's an identity of the F-Series trucks. And the all-new 2026 F-150 is the best yet, with a completely redesigned interior and exterior. Adventure? How about the Ford Bronco Sport? It says, let's get it, with 5 available trims so you can forge your own path. We recently bought a new Explorer at our Desert Ford dealers. Love the flexible seating up to 7. All the cargo room, the advanced tech. Bottom line, Ford is the future at our Desert Ford dealers. Just click buyfordnow.com.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
I know they ain't going to really like take in what I'm saying, but I like this format. I think it makes us compete because it's only 12 minutes and the three different teams, you separate the guys. And I think it was really good.
Man, that is Anthony Edwards following the NBA All-Star game over the weekend. And he's right. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Guys even dove on the floor. There were a lot of blocked shots that took place. They weren't letting anything easy go to the rim. And I just found it to be a much better show of basketball. And from that standpoint, I hope they do it again next year. That is our Lerner and Rowe. One call, that's all. Lerner and Rowe. You can always get help. You can always just go online at lernerandrowe.com. All right, let's do a little what's on tap. Here's what we have for you this evening. College basketball. Grand Canyon on the road at San Diego State. They tip at 8. It's on the CBS Sports Network. And then at 9, Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, against Arizona State. You can listen on our sister station, 98.7 FM. Also on TV, it's ESPN and ESPN2. It'll be on one of those. That is what's on tap. Tomorrow night, it is BYU at Arizona, 7 o'clock tip. That game is on ESPN. However, BYU lost their second-best player, Richie Saunders. He tore his knee up, an ACL. He was averaging 18 points per game. So BYU is going to obviously take a step back. State 48 Roofing, it's your call question of the day. You can always call State 48 Roofing today for a free roof inspection before leaks hit. Keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing. They are Arizona's #1 preferred roofer. Just go to state48roofing.com, or you can always call them at 480-268-4509.
All right, folks, do you feel the NBA All-Star Game was an improvement with its new format? All you have to do is just go to at Roc and Manuch on X or at Roc and Manuch on Instagram. Number 1, yes, more competitive. No difference. Or number 3, didn't care to watch. Again, just go to at Roc and Manuch on X or at Roc and Manuch on Instagram. I voted yes, more competitive. I think it was very obvious. Jimmy B, which way did you vote?
I went yes as well. I found it to be much more entertaining, and to see defense was actually played in that game. I found it to be much better, and nearly 9 million people felt the same way. It was the most watched NBA All-Star game in 15 years.
All right, CC, which way did the peeps vote on this one?
Yeah, it looks like right now we have a 50-50 split. 50% said yes, it was more competitive when they tuned in, and 50% said they didn't care to watch, which upsets me because, well, you can't form an opinion if you
don't watch. Yeah, didn't care to watch. I think a lot of folks missed out, but I love the international competition versus the USA. I mean, Wemby was just everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that kid, he gets better and better. I mean, he takes 2 steps and goes 90 feet.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, talk about Spider-Man or Go-Go Gadget. I mean, just the way that he shoots. I mean, he's becoming one of the, I would say, was he 7'4", 7'5"?
7'4", yeah.
He's just amazing to watch him. And then the old guys versus the young guys. In that final game, the young guys just beat up.
They beat him up pretty good.
Ant-Man and Devin Booker. And I just thought overall it was more competitive. There was more to it. You could just tell if these guys were more dialed in versus, a 5-on-5 going up and down the court. First one to 175 wins the game.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I really thought the three-point shooting. I didn't get a chance to watch the skills competition. Didn't watch the slam dunk competition.
I did not.
But I didn't watch the three-point shooting. Damian Lillard, where have you been?
He's been rehabbing that torn Achilles.
But it looks like he's jumping pretty good right now. How about the Trailblazers fans going, dude, where have you been?
Next season.
But you just goes to show you
he's back.
He's one of the top 3-point shooters.
Oh, yeah.
NBA. And then how about Steph Curry making that shot from the broadcast booth?
That was highly entertaining. He took like 2 or 3 shots.
He's got 3 shots.
And the third one went in.
I'm like, unbelievable.
Yeah.
He put a little, I just making sure he didn't fall over the top of the rail there. But I thought overall it was a good weekend. Aside from the slam dunk, I was like, you know what? Seen it all. What's his name? McClung?
Mac McClung.
Wasn't there.
Yeah, he posted online. Look, Mac McClung would have won this again easily. He posted online 4 different dunks. If you haven't seen them, check them out because, once again, Matt McClung has outdone himself as far as a slam dunk champion. There is no question about that.
Tonight's ASU Texas Tech game, 9 o'clock tip-off. It's kind of like, wow, I hope ASU can give them a competitive game.
I think maybe for the first half.
I think they will. I'd be just going up and down the court. I just hope there's no blowout, but this thing could end up 95-65.
Good.
75-70 would be more adhering, but you're going to run 8 guys at this Texas Tech team that goes, 9 deep?
Yeah.
And they go 9 deep very well, and they've got the depth. And this is it the Toppin kid that just went off against
JT Toppin. He went off against U of A.
And that shot is the most awkward, funky-looking shot that's productive.
You'll see it again tonight.
Oh, most definitely. And then how about GCU, the Lopes, taking on SDSU? And you know as well as anybody how hard it is to win at San Diego State.
It is extremely difficult. That arena seats about 12,000, and it'll be packed. The game is on CBS Sports Network tonight. It's going to be a highly entertaining game. But what do we got cooking tomorrow?
Now, tomorrow, folks, we're going to be in the Far East Valley, Venezia's Pizzeria. We're going to be at Ellsworth and Guadalupe.
Am I driving to Idaho?
No, you're not. It's a nice little spot. So Venezia's tomorrow in the East Valley. Tim Kempton will join us talking about the last third of the Sun season. We'll have our campus quickies, ASU, U of A, and NAU. And also get Eric Williams to talk about the legal tampering or what's going on with the NFC West. He's the NFC West beat writer for FoxSports.com. A lot going on just after 1 week of the Super Bowl.
Laz and Connor, thank you, boys, for all that you do. I know we give you some stuff to do every once in a while, and you handle it with great aplomb. You're listening Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, 620 AM, 97 FM, also on the Arizona Sports app.
Hi,